That's on you.
But it wasn't a clean getaway.
I never agreed that they could have anything.
I worked very hard, Nancy.
Can I interrupt?
No.
Now, here's what happened.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Nancy Sawyer is suing her former housekeeper, Alicia Navarez, and her husband, Edgar, for stealing belongings from a storage unit and for incomplete services.
Order. All rise. Now, it's case number 108 on the calendar in the matter of Sawyer versus Narvaez.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss Sawyer, you were moving from one place to another, downsizing. Where were you moving from?
I was moving from Georgetown, Texas, to Cedar Park, Texas.
How far is that?
Oh, maybe about a 30-minute drive.
Now, when you moved from one place to another, what was the name of the moving company that you used?
Brow.
On what date did you move?
I moved on Christmas Eve.
How much did you pay Brow to move? And Mrs. Navarez
Yes, ma'am.
was your housekeeper.
Yes, she was.
And you asked her to clean the house, which she had been doing, but after your move.
Yes.
For the new people.
Yes.
And in exchange for that, you didn't pay her.
No.
You told her that there were certain items that she could have from your storage unit.
No.
How did you intend...
No, that is not correct, Judge.
Miss Sawyer, how did you intend to pay Miss Navarez?
I asked her how she would like to be paid.
And what did she say?
She said that she would like all my furniture in my storage room.
Okay. And on what date or month did you have that conversation with her? Was that in December?
It was probably shortly after the first of the year.
Well, you told me that Brow moved you on Christmas Eve. That would be in December. And she was cleaning after you moved in January?
She was cleaning between December and January. I had to be out of the house by January 4th.
Oh, so
But she continued to clean even after the 4th.
And for that, her payment was going to be the furniture from your storage unit.
Not exactly.
Well, you tell me
it was a conditional. I did not know what was in my storage room because I had never seen what was moved into my storage room. So I said, on the condition that I be able to see what was in that storage room before any action was taken, and then we would go together and look at what was in that storage room.
Well, why didn't you go do that before she started to work?
Because I couldn't find the key. My son had taken the key, and he couldn't find it.
Well, Miss Sawyer, I just want you to recognize what you're telling me, because this is what your case is about.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
And
I felt like that, too.
Well,
so I had him to keep looking, Judge. And he found that key.
Miss Sawyer.
Yay, for my son.
Miss Sawyer, what you said is, in this complaint, that she took things that you didn't want her to take from the storage room.
No, I did not say that.
Well, let's see.
She took things, but you need to listen to me.
No, I don't need to listen to you. You need to listen to me, because I'm Miss Sawyer, because now I'm speaking.
I understand
that. Good. I'm reading.
I haven't finished my story.
I didn't ask you for any more of your story. This isn't free form.
No.
This is
what you ask.
This is what I ask. On the morning of January 4th, I turned in my keys. After the new homeowners, mud tracks, cobwebs, dirty kitchen, the panty, I contacted Alicia, and she claims to have cleaned the entire house. But I had photos to show otherwise. I had given the homeowners a $1,500 deposit for incidentals. They kept the deposit because the home was dirty and because Edgar had broken a bookcase or an entertainment center. By this point, I had given the key to the storage to Edgar. We had gone to the unit, but planned to come back when we had better lighting. Well, according to you, they did work for which you did not pay them. And I'm going to ask you, how much do you think that they did in work between December and January, when they finished what they were doing? Because certainly she worked for you.
I do that.
Well, then,
I do
you
know
tell me, then and since you didn't know what was in the storage unit, that's on you. How do you know that they took things that you didn't want them to take?
Because I told both of them that no action. I never agreed that they could have anything until I saw what was in the storage room. They both knew that.
Don't tell me what they knew.
So when we...
Just listen to me. You can't tell me what they knew. You can tell me what you said to them.
What
they
I
said to
them.
Shh. What you said to them and what they said to you. But you can't tell me what they knew.
Okay.
You can tell me what they said, and you did, in fact, go to the storage unit with them.
I went with Edgar.
I don't care if you went with Edgar or her or the kids or the cousins or whatever. You went to the storage unit with one of the defendants. On what date did you go to the storage unit with one of the defendants?
It was shortly after the 4th. And we went, it was late in the afternoon. It was getting dark, and I wanted him to see what was in the storage room. And there, right within maybe 15 inches of the storage room door, was my son's, when he was a teenager, his whole bedroom suit. And it was blocking what we could see. And so Edgar got his cell phone, and he turned on the flashlight that was in his cell phone, and he was holding it up, trying to shine behind my son's bedroom suit. The only thing I could see was my mother and daddy's bedroom suit at the very back wall. Now, this was a bedroom suit that they had had. Well, don't
go off to a tributary. Just tell me you saw your son's bedroom set and your parents' bedroom set.
That was old, very old.
I don't care if it was old. It doesn't have to be old.
Like,
we're old.
So
your parents are. How much did you pay them to do the cleaning? And in addition to cleaning, did they ever move anything from the house to your new house?
No.
Is that true?
Yes, it's true, Your Honor. We never moved anything from one house to her house.
Another.
But
okay.
we did move a lot of things from one house to another, but not to her new house. No.
To where?
She sold all the items that were in her house, all the furniture, to Linda Hosso because she was going to lose out on her estate sale.
Just a second. In addition to cleaning the house, Miss Sawyer, did you sell furniture in your house to this lady over here?
What lady?
Who's sitting right over here.
Would you like me to stand up?
To Linda.
Maybe she can't see.
To Linda Hosso.
Oh,
did you just, that's a yes, or you may sit down, please.
I sold not all my furniture.
Did you sell furniture to her?
Yes, I did.
Listen to me. Who moved the furniture that you sold from the house to the witness's house?
Edgar.
How much did you pay him? How much did you pay him?
Nothing.
So far, he's moved furniture and she's cleaned.
And
would you stand up, please? What furniture items did you purchase?
Can I interrupt?
No.
But
the answer is you may not.
But
the answer is you may not.
I think you need to understand why she bought my furniture.
The answer is you may not. The question has nothing to do with what she bought. The question has to do with how much Edgar moved for nothing. Now, would you tell me what items that you purchased from Miss Sawyer?
There was a living room couch and chair and coffee table and end tables, a desk, and there was a wall unit that Mrs. Sawyer called a wall unit, and I mistakenly asked her if the entertainment center went.
Okay, how much did you pay for all of that?
$3,000.
And how were these big items delivered?
I took and rented a U-Haul truck, and then I hired Edgar and Alicia to help me move the stuff.
Did you pay them?
Yes.
How much did you pay them?
A total of $400.
Okay. So you paid them $400. Now you may sit down. Did you move put your hand down. Did you move any furniture other than to her house?
Yes, Your Honor.
To whose?
To her vehicle. I did move some stuff into her car.
Just a second. Said that you did a lot of other things moving. Now, you brought her, but she paid you for moving. So that's not Miss Sawyer's responsibility to pay you for moving, because you got paid for moving from your witness, correct?
Correct.
Correct. So all we are talking about is your cleaning service. How many days did you clean?
Approximately, maybe...
No, I don't want to know approximately.
Maybe about 6 days total. She had trash in her garage.
Listen to me carefully. Did you work for Miss Sawyer before...
Yes, ma'am.
For how long?
Probably by that time about...
Think just a second. Before you talk, Miss Sawyer says you were her housekeeper. For how long were you her housekeeper before she moved? 6 months, a year,
Oh, yeah,
2 years.
it was about maybe approximately like 7 months.
And how much did she pay you?
$80 every time I went there.
And she paid you for every day that you worked there.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
there came a time when she stopped paying you.
Correct.
And that was because you made an arrangement with her that you would get the stuff in the storage room.
Correct.
Now,
She claims she
this
had
is
a lot of antiques in there.
Don't speak.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She cleaned the house, and you didn't pay her.
If there was something I wanted, then I would take that.
Or if you wanted everything.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Nancy Sawyer says her former housekeeper, Alicia Navarez, and her husband, Edgar, owe for stealing furniture from her storage unit and for not properly cleaning her home when she moved out.
Now, had you ever been in the storage room?
No, ma'am.
Did she pay you up until January 4th?
Yes.
So it was the after cleaning, the moving out cleaning, that you were going to be paid from the storage unit.
Correct.
Is that correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
And on January 4th, you sent your husband and the plaintiff to the storage unit to look and see what was in the storage unit.
No.
Did you go to the storage unit with the plaintiff on January 4th?
He just went there to pick up the
I
key.
don't. Just
No,
a second.
he didn't.
Yes, he
Hey,
did.
I'm not asking you anything. I'm talking to him. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
On January 4th, did you and Miss Sawyer go to the storage unit together? She says you did.
It was actually the 6th, but yes, I met her there.
It was the 6th.
Yeah.
Between the 4th cleaning,
Yes.
on what date did you do cleaning?
I started on the 4th.
Don't chatter. Don't chatter. Between the 4th and the 6th, what day did you do cleaning?
4th, 5th, and 6th. And 7th and 8th.
So you did cleaning on the 4th without knowing what was in the storage unit.
Your Honor, our agreement... but you need
just-
to hear this because it's very important. Our agreement was not agreed upon the storage on the 4th. This was on January the 6th that I agreed to get paid with that storage key.
That's all right, but that was after your husband went there. That was
But
after...
my husband went there because I asked him to pick up the storage key.
That is not true.
Miss Sawyer, I want you to understand that you cannot have people work for you for nothing.
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah,
And
well,
I
so
was
I'm-
willing to
so-
do that.
so-
But what she is saying is not true.
Well, how do you expect me to resolve the fact that the defendant worked and cleaned your house up until January 4th, for which you paid her $80 a day, and after that, after you moved out, and Brow moved you, but I know what it's like to move out of a house, what it looks like, and trash, okay? And after, and you didn't pay her anything.
I was willing, Judge, but this is what happened that you haven't given me a chance to tell you, okay? This is what happened. When I left the key with Edgar, I told him this is for he and Alicia to come back together and go through the storage room. And then I would come and join up with them another day, and we would go through, and I would see if there was anything that I wanted out of that storage room.
Now, does that make sense?
And so we would agree when we could get together. And if there was something I wanted, then I would take that.
Or if you wanted everything.
It could be,
Just
but
a second.
I doubt
no, just
that.
a second. Or if you wanted everything, and then they had done the work.
Well, I knew at least 2 things that were in there.
Well, then you draw up a piece of paper and say you can't have these 2 things. You went there.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The work that Alicia did, how much do you think it was worth?
I would have given
Just
her
a
the
sec-
whole storage room if there was not one piece of furniture that I wanted.
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Nancy Sawyer is accusing her former husband, Edgar, of theft and for not properly cleaning her home when she moved out.
Okay, what I'm saying to you, Miss Sawyer, is did you say to them, instead of giving him the key to the storage, which you gave him the key to the storage,
to
which
keep,
I don't care.
Why
would you do
Alicia
that?
could come and see what was in there. Then we would get together, and I would see if there was anything that was meaningful to me.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Miss
then
Sawyer,
they could have the rest.
Miss Sawyer.
But may I finish, please,
no,
Judge?
No.
This
No,
is an
it's
important part, and it is meaningful to me what happened, because I considered them my friends. I trusted them.
Miss Sawyer, the work that Alicia did, how much do you think it was worth?
It was worth giving her as a recommendation to the new buyers. I trusted her. She was wonderful.
Just a second. What you're saying, Miss Sawyer, is you think that they should have cleaned your house between the 4th and the 9th, and in exchange for that, you were going to let them pick whatever furniture and things you didn't want from the shed, and you were going to recommend...
I would have given her the whole storage room if there was not one piece of furniture that I wanted. Now, here's what happened. I called her in 2 days to see if she had gotten a chance to look at it. She said, "Oh, Nancy, Edgar and I have already cleaned out the furniture out of the storage room and turned in the key." And I said, "You what?" I said, "Both of you knew that I wanted to at least look at what was in there." I said, "What did you do with the furniture? Did you sell it?" And she said, "Oh, I've got to call Edgar," and she hung up on me.
That's a flat-out lie.
That is not a lie, and you know good and well. And so for the next couple of days, I tried to call her, and she never answered the phone.
Prior to going...
So that's the way it was left.
Now I have the whole story.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, when was the last time prior to January 4th that you had gone into that storage room?
Never.
Case is dismissed. We're done. You paid her. Listen, you have to make a deal.
They had agreed to that.
They agreed to take what was in the storage.
And what work did they do when they left? Have you seen the evidence of how they left the house?
Oh, just a second.
Let me show you.
Just a second. I would like to see it.
Please.
I would like to see it. Pictures.
Your Honor, and that was after the new owner moved in.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
On the first day.
No, ma'am. The new owners moved in, Your Honor. I worked very hard, Nancy, for 7 days.
Give the description of
throwing away trash.
I just want to see photographs.
Where's the letter the owner wrote?
What are we talking about?
That's the broken cabinet that was...
I don't care about that. I want to see cleaning. You said you have photographs that they didn't clean. Show me the photographs that they didn't clean.
This is what... We have a letter from the owner.
Case is over. Bye.
No, we have letters from the owner describing. Judge, here's
Goodbye.
Give that to the judge.
Sure. Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Happy with her judgment today because I'm a very hard worker.
They did not agree to the verbal agreement we had made.
For her to flat out lie to Judge Judy.
She is no longer my friend.
So I try to help, but this is a hard lesson that I have to learn, and I have to learn to say no.
I'm glad it's done, but I think I got screwed.
The dog rushed us in the street.
Your dog killed Miss Perry's dog.
She didn't have control of that dog at all.
And I had control of her at all times.
What happened this morning?
I was walking the dog. She pulled me down. She dragged me right down. I lost control of the leash.
Either you lied to the police or you lied to me.
I lied to the police.
Oh. Actually, that was the wrong answer. The police aren't going to like to hear that.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Deborah Perry is suing her neighbor, Tracy Clemens, and Tracy's boyfriend, Dale Taylor, for damages after Dale's dog attacked, and killed her dog.
Order. All rise. It's case number 72 on the calendar in the matter of Perry versus Clemens Taylor.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Miss Clemens, do you and Mr. Taylor live together?
No.
Mr. Taylor, you live alone or with others?
I live alone.
How large is your apartment?
It's a studio.
And when did you get your dog?
I got her like 5 years ago.
From where?
Through my uncle. He had puppies.
How long have you and Miss Clemens been a couple?
For the past 3 years.
How long have you been walking his dog, Miss Clemens?
Approximately about a year.
How many times a day do you walk his dog?
Not very often. I don't see it very often. Not every day.
On February 16th, you were walking his dog?
Yes.
And you take his dog out on a leash?
Yes, always.
And your dog is a pit bull?
Half lab, half pit bull.
And your dog was a Yorkie?
Yes, Your Honor.
That you were walking on February 16th?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is the case. Case is that your dog, Mr. Taylor, there is no question that your dog killed Miss Perry's dog during that walk on February 16th. You were not there. Miss Clemens was there, correct? The defense is, and I assume it's Miss Clemens's defense because actually you're the dog owner, so she's suing the person who had control of the dog as well as the dog's owner. Miss Clemens' defense is that it was the Yorkie's fault.
Correct.
Well, that's her defense. You don't know that that's true. And then there is a counterclaim because your dog was quarantined and there were fees of $175. And your claim is because it was the plaintiff's fault. That's the counterclaim. Now, let's take two issues. At what time, Miss Clemens, did you get to Mr. Taylor's house to walk the dog?
I didn't walk the dog at his house.
Where did you walk the dog?
I walked the dog on the block that I live on.
Was the dog staying with you?
No.
How did the dog get to your house?
Because I had the dog in my car.
The dog was in your car. At what time on February 16th did the dog get in your car?
8-ish.
8-ish is not a time.
I walked the dog around 8:20 or 8:15 in the morning.
What do you mean you walked the dog at 8:15 in the morning?
Yeah, I was on my way to a funeral, and I was walking the dog on my block.
You said that the dog doesn't stay with you. The dog stays with him in the studio.
Right.
How did the dog get to your block?
In my car.
So did you pick up the dog from...
Yes, I picked up the dog.
You know, slippery. You picked up the dog from his house.
Yes.
What time?
In the morning.
Time?
7.
And at 7 a.m., where did you take the dog?
To my house.
So the dog
like
was in your house?
Yeah, it was on the way to my house.
So you took the dog at 7 a.m. to your house. Did you take the dog inside your house? No. How long is it from Mr. Taylor's house to your house by car?
Depends on traffic, 30 minutes or to an hour.
And then you were taking the dog and was to let the dog stay in your house while you went to the funeral?
Yes.
So you picked the dog up from Mr. Taylor's house. Now, were you at home when she picked the dog up? Mr. Taylor, look at me.
Yes.
This is not going to be easy.
Right.
Were you at home when she picked the dog up?
Yes.
What time did she pick the dog up?
What time did she pick it up? She spent the night over, so
that's right. There we go. Wouldn't that have made it easier?
She stayed over.
If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory, Slippery. Do you understand? So you stayed over at Mr. Taylor's house. See, because he's not even smart enough to listen to what you said. Do you understand? So you stayed over at his house, and you left his house at what time, Miss Clemens?
7.
To take the dog to your house to spend the day at your house?
No.
Well, you were going to a funeral. What were you going to do with the dog after a 30-minute ride? This is not going to get easier. It's going to get harder. What were you going to do with the dog? You were going to a funeral. If you're going to tell me, Miss Clemens, that I took the dog on a 30-minute car ride to urinate and defecate in front of my house, and then I was bringing the dog back to Mr. Taylor's house so that I could go to a funeral,
no.
I'm not going to believe you. And if you tell me that you were going to take them to the funeral, I'm not going to believe you. Do you understand?
Correct.
So that means that you picked up the dog, took it to your house, and you were going to leave the dog in your house while you went to the funeral.
Correct.
Wasn't that easy? Are you allowed to have a dog at your house?
Visiting, I do.
Don't tell me visiting. Are you in a rental property? Or
yes.
Does your rental property permit dogs in the house?
It permits my dog in my house. I have my own dog.
Was Mr. Taylor's dog permitted in your house?
Visiting, yes. I can have visitors.
What kind of dog do you have in your house?
A poodle terrier. a rescue.
Now you want to describe to me what happened on the morning of February 16th.
I was walking my 12-year-old Yorkshire Terrier, Riley.
Were you walking the dog on a leash?
My dog is always on a leash and a harness.
You were walking the dog on a leash?
I was walking the dog on the opposite side of the street where I live. I live on the same side of the street as the defendant. And
you live on the same side of the street as she does?
Three buildings down.
Did you ever see her before?
Yes.
Did you ever see her before with this dog?
Yes.
How many times? Put your papers down.
At least 10 times.
So you were walking your dog. Oh, go ahead.
Yes. And I was about to finish our morning walk, and it was approximately 8:20 in the morning. I actually have a picture of the scene, mine, and I do scan the street before I cross. But the dog that the defendant was handling was defecating. And when I can show you if you'd like to.
No, okay.
When I approached the rear side of the driver's side of the van, about 6 feet to the right of the van, I heard the defendant cry out, "No, no!" And I saw her turn towards her dog. The dog was on the grass. She had the poop bag in her hand, and I stopped with Riley, and thought for just a second this possibly is going to go really badly. The defendant was tying the poop bag, and the dog rushed us in the street. I lifted up on Riley's. He also had a jacket on, but I lifted up on my leash. He was dangling in the air, and I spun twice, full rotations, to try to get him away from that dog, but the dog was chasing, like in a circle, following like a jackrabbit in a greyhound race. The dog was following him. The moment I lowered him, she chomped onto his right side, and I was holding onto the left side, and I started to scream. And then at that point, maybe a couple of seconds after that, the defendant came and tried to get control of the dog. She was not around for the other part.
When you saw the defendant bag and you saw the dog, was that the front lawn of where she lives?
It's the front lawn of my next door neighbor, and my neighbor, my witness, Dwayne Elkins, is in front of his building, next door to mine. I was just crossing to go home.
And her dog did in fact have a leash on.
It's a rope with a noose on the end. It's not a proper leash.
Which she had let go when she
She's busy with the poop bag.
I'm ready. Then I'm going to hear the witness. Then I'm going to see the video. Go. Is that how it happened?
No.
Go ahead.
First of all,
You have to understand. You have to understand two things before you tell it to me. You've already lied to me a couple of times at the beginning when we started. Already. So I know that you're capable of that, even in this setting, and even with me. So I know you're capable of lying. So I want you to think twice before you tell me a story that you may regret. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
You've said correct before. You've said correct 4 times to me earlier today when you lied to me. So now you want to tell me what happened on February 16th?
Yes. I was walking Misty on my block up the street, and she had a harness on and she had a leash on. And I had control of her at all times. I never had not control of her. And I walked her up the street, and I walked her back down, and we stopped to just Miss Perry and Riley approaching and crossing the street. She was on her phone. She wasn't paying attention at all. And when Miss Perry and Riley approached the sidewalk, Riley jumped with excitement and nipped at Misty. And Misty was startled, and she snapped at Riley and lunged at her, and I couldn't get her off of her. I mean, I did all I could to try to get her off of her, and I couldn't.
Would you step up, please? Tell me your name, sir.
I'm Dwayne Elkins.
You live on the same block as she does?
Yes.
How many times have you seen Miss Clements with this pit bull?
I never had previously.
How many times have you seen her?
I don't remember. I don't recall seeing her, really.
So you really don't know her?
No.
Do you know Miss Perry?
Well, we've lived in our apartment over 13 years, and I've seen Debbie most of that time, if not all the time.
Were you at home on February 16th?
Yes.
Did you see any part of this incident?
Yes, I did.
Think carefully before you answer.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You were in a big rush that day. You lied to the police, Miss Clements. Either you lied to the police or you lied to me. Which one?
I lied to the police.
Oh, that was the...
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Deborah Perry says neighbor Tracy Clemens was walking a dog owned by her boyfriend, Dale Taylor, when it attacked and killed her dog. The defendants are countersuing for pound fees.
Now, what part did you see?
What I saw, there was commotion on the driveway. So I opened the door, and Debbie was screaming, "Help, help." And I ran out there, and the black dog had a grip on Riley's neck and wouldn't let go for anything.
So you didn't see the beginning?
No, I didn't see the beginning.
So the end part is what you saw?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I did see, it was like there was just a rope, and she didn't have control of that dog at all.
I always
did you do anything?
Yes, I did. I glanced on my porch. I had a broom, so I went and got that and started pounding on the dog, and he wouldn't let go, and it broke. I broke the broom, and so there wasn't much else to do. It looked like Riley.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Will weigh 25 pounds. If you hit that pit bull, the Labrador with a stick or something, it's a miniature. It's not a big one. It don't weigh over 25 pounds. So if you hit it with anything, it would have let go. It's a little bitty dog. It's not no normal size.
I don't care what you think.
She's claiming that she's a shovel.
I don't care what you think.
All right. Okay.
Mr. Taylor, you live in a studio. You live by yourself.
Yes.
Have any kids? Have any kids is the question. Yes or no?
Yes.
What are you looking over there for? There's nothing wrong with having children.
Right.
How many children do you have?
One.
How old?
Newborn, a few months.
Few months.
Right.
Where does he live?
They mom.
In the same town as you?
Yes.
Do you see him?
Yes.
How often?
She act funny about once every 2 weeks.
Okay. So I'm just telling you, before I look at the video, and I have to, in all fairness to you, you know, people know that I think that people who have pit bulls are crazy and stupid. People out there know, and I get all kinds of mail when I say that. So sometimes people send me mail. So somebody sent me just last week this article, which I actually thought was interesting, and I want you to read, because now you have a new baby.
Yeah,
Just listen to me. Don't speak. Just listen. This is from the Akron Beacon Journal, Saturday, State University College of Medicine. And the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center researchers which types dogs of the biggest risk of biting with severe injury, along with physical traits associated with those bites. The top biter, and there are 340 breeds of dogs. So the top 5 breeds of dogs. The first is unknown, mixes. The second in order, pit bulls, mixed breeds, German shepherds, Terrier Rottweilers. Do you understand?
Yes.
This article says that the study was a 15-year study of researching and documenting dog bites in hospitals. And the doctor who conducted, was part of the group that conducted the study. He said the results of the survey is not a surprise. It's an open secret. It's always pit bulls. But the problem are the number of people who own pit bulls and are in permanent denial. They just are. They're not looking at the numbers, and they're just not exposed to it. And the danger, this is for you, Mr. Taylor, is more pronounced for children whose faces are often on the same level as a threat. I forewarned you. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The emotional drain it would be for a person who's had a dog to have that dog killed in your presence. I can't put a dollar figure on that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Deborah Perry says neighbor Tracy Clemens and her boyfriend, Dale Taylor, are responsible for the death of her dog.
Now, I'm going to see the video.
Okay.
Oh.
Ma'am, have you got a second, please?
I'm on the way to go to a funeral.
Could you wait right here?
Yeah.
So is that your dog?
No, it's my friend's dog.
Where's your friend?
He's not here. I just been watching the dog.
Your dog sitting?
Yeah.
What is your friend's name?
Dale.
Dale. Last name?
Mission.
Okay.
Mission.
How do you spell that?
MISSIEON.
But the owner of the dog is Dale Taylor?
Yes.
Where he lives?
LA.
The address?
I don't have his address. I don't know that information.
Phone number?
No, I don't know that information.
So how do they reach you? How do you reach them?
I don't have the information right now.
Is it in your phone?
No.
How do you reach this person? What happened this morning?
I was walking the dog. I was walking her like I've been walking her, and I was on this grass, and they're right here. And she saw the dog, and she pulled me down. She literally just dragged me right down, and I've never seen that before. So she dragged me right down. I lost control of the leash, and she clamped on the dog, and she wouldn't let the dog.
Do you go get the dog?
Yes, I guess.
Where do you get the dog?
I just pick him up and brings the dog to me. I babysit the dog.
Well, you're so far not being completely honest, because I went from Dale Mission to Dale Taylor.
I'm in shock.
Now it's you go pick up the dog. Now he brings the dog.
I'm in shock.
Okay, but being in shock and lying, I mean, please, we just need your information.
The dog didn't make it. You can sit down, sir. So, you were in a big rush that day. You lied to the police. Either you lied to the police or you lied to me, Miss Clemens. Either you lied to the police or you lied to me. Which was the wrong? That was the wrong answer. The police aren't going to like to hear that. That you gave a false statement to the police. The police aren't going to like to hear that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Okay, listen out there. If you have pit bulls, I feel sorry for you. Don't write me a letter. Don't put it on my Facebook page. I'm not interested. We take it down. If you're stupid and you've been warned and your pit bull hurt somebody, has your pit bull ever hurt anybody before?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Taylor, is this a good lesson for you?
Yes, very great lesson.
It's a very good lesson because your girlfriend told the police that she lost control of your dog and the dog pulled her down. That's what she told the police, right?
I saw that.
Now, right. It was a surprise to you, right? It came from the police officer's body cam.
Right.
Right? Now you know what your dog is capable of. So I actually think that the owners, people who own pit bulls or who take responsibility for them, have to be responsible for the damage that they do. And I cannot even put a number, a dollar number, on the emotional drain it would be for a person who's had a dog, not only for 12 years, a year, 2 years. I can't put a dollar figure on that. The only dollar figure that I can put on it is the dollar figure that I have here. That's the maximum for me. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. We're finished.
Parties are excused and they step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I don't really have thoughts.
I've cried every day since it happened.
I don't really have any comment.
She seemed to have no remorse or no empathy.
I just want to put it behind me.
The dog broke completely away from that woman and shook him like a rag doll.
I pray, ask God to forgive me.
Rest in peace, Riley.
The defendants caused a substantial amount of damage to your home.
They vanished into thin air,
They disappeared. They didn't leave any forwarding address.
but turned up thick with excuses.
We had the carpets cleaned before we left.
You should have done a walkthrough.
I have proof that he refused to do it.
So either you are smart-looking people who are really stupid, or your story is full of baloney.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Sylvia Meek is suing her former tenants, Raymond and Miranda, to her rental home.
Order. All rise. This is case number 30 on the calendar in the matter of Meek versus Rowland.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Miss Meek, the defendants were tenants of yours. They
Yes,
had a
ma'am.
one-year lease.
Yes, Your
And you
Honor.
had some difficulty with each other during the term of the lease. They finally ended their lease a month early, and you had an attorney who tried to make an appointment for a walkthrough, a final walkthrough, which you never attended. Now it is your claim that the defendants caused a substantial amount of damage to your home.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, in excess of this court's maximum. The Rowlands claimed that they did not cause any damage to your home. On what date did you move out?
January 31st.
January 31st, 2019.
No, 2018.
2018?
Correct.
Yes.
Your Honor.
It's been over a year.
I would like to see photographs of the house when they moved in, and I assume you moved in on or about January or February of 2017.
March of 2017.
Do you have photographs of the house when you moved in?
We do not, Your Honor, because...
You do not?
Correct.
Okay, because you didn't. Do you have photographs of the house?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to look at. Thank you. These pictures are date stamped March 18th, 2017. Why don't you take a look at them? Pictures are date stamped March 18th. Is that when you moved in?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so those pictures are a fair and accurate representation of what the carpets and the floors looked like at the time that you moved in.
It's hard to see some of the details of things that were there.
I see.
You can see lots of stains on the carpet.
I see the carpets. The house is in reasonable order, March 18th, 2017. Now I would like to see the same pictures on the day they moved out on January 31st, 2018. Well, these aren't date stamped.
No, Your Honor, because I took them with my phone, but they don't have a date.
Well, they're not responsible for this.
For what, Your Honor?
They're not responsible for this.
They had 2 dogs, Your Honor. The deck was perfectly clean, and I had painted.
I didn't ask you anything.
I had the deck painted before they moved in, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah.
Just a second. I can't see that the deck was painted.
It was not painted before, Your Honor.
I can't tell that this deck was painted. It's blue.
It was blue.
Just a second. Well, I see that it's blue, but it doesn't look freshly painted blue.
It wasn't, Your Honor.
Actually, it doesn't look freshly.
Not
I can't
freshly,
see. It's too far away.
But
I can't see.
But it had paint on it.
Listen to me. There's a difference between having paint on it and being freshly painted. It doesn't look freshly painted to me, even in your before pictures. That's all I'm saying to you.
Okay.
I'd like you to tell me what this square is that's out of the carpet. Do you know?
Our dog locked himself into our daughter's room, and he tore the carpet next to the door trying to get out.
Okay, then you have to replace the carpet.
And that's what the pet fee would be covered.
No. You have a $500 pet deposit.
Pet deposit. That's what that
Your Honor, it wasn't a deposit.
I don't speak.
Sorry.
That doesn't cover putting in all new carpet.
It was a 12 by 12 room, Your Honor.
It doesn't cover putting in a whole new room of carpet.
It does, Your Honor. I'm a residential contractor. I build houses, kitchens and baths, remodels and everything else. For a 12 by 12 room, that carpet was absolutely replaceable with $500 or less.
Show me the bill to replace that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did they use their last month's rent as security deposit, or when was the last time they paid rent?
December.
Is that correct?
It is correct, and when she hired
So you lived there until January 31st, and you did not pay January's rent?
Correct. Based on the contract that we signed, we had that at liberty.
What?
It was in the contract that we signed that we could use that deposit for final rent.
So,
she hired it.
Just a second.
Okay.
And that's what you did?
That's what we did.
Great. Then you make it your business to do a walkthrough.
I would have done a walkthrough after we moved out.
Listen to me.
And she didn't.
Listen to me very carefully. You have to replace the carpet. Because you say, I could do it for less money, doesn't mean she has to do it for less money. So all I want to tell you is you're going to be responsible for whatever it is that she did to replace the carpet.
And I have no problem with that coming out of the $500 pet deposit.
Great. So far, we have $700. Now,
I'm not following why we have $700 at this point.
Because she bought the remnant, and then she had the carpets cleaned.
We had the carpets cleaned before we left.
You should have done a walkthrough.
I have a receipt showing that we had the carpets cleaned.
I do too.
Carpets cleaned. They didn't come out.
We tried to do the walkthrough, and no one would schedule.
Just a second. Is that right? That's not what you say in your answer. What you said, she's not getting $5,000 to remodel her house. Understand that. I haven't even got...
Your Honor, she hired an attorney. I went back and forth with her attorney. We came into an agreement that I would have the keys under a rock and we would be done. The contract says, which I have here and highlighted, that she had 21 days in order to tell us if there was anything amiss with us in the home. After 21 days of her contract, she didn't tell us. We had pictures, emails, all this kind of stuff for a year. We got rid of it because we didn't want... Why should we keep it over a year? It's been a year and a half later.
Let me tell you what you signed, swore to in your answer.
Okay.
Sylvia hired an attorney and demanded a walkthrough, but refused to compromise on the time and date, so we couldn't make it. Do you want to see that?
No, that was the case. I agree.
Well, that's not what you just said to me.
Sorry.
Just a second.
Sure.
That's not what you just said to me. You couldn't compromise on a date, so we didn't make it. You should have made it.
She would not do a date after the 31st of January when we had fully moved out. I was like, until we're moved out, there's no reason to do a walkthrough yet. I had until the 31st to move out. So I was like, anywhere in February, let's do a walkthrough. And then her attorney and I came up with an agreement to leave the keys and be done without a walkthrough. Okay. So we're done.
I have proof that he refused to do it. It's right here, Your Honor. And I was there the next day. He refused.
Okay. Now, I've read the email from you. Now I would like to see the video and the photographs that you took that are date stamped January 31st. Shh, Joe, just a second.
Okay.
That's what you wrote to her. That's what you wrote to her. Don't come to the house January 31st. We are taking pictures and videos, and we will send them to you. We never want to see you again. We will not... That's what you wrote to her.
After
want to see
yes.
I would like to see the videos and the photographs that you took on January 31st.
We got rid of them after a year of holding on to them and not hearing from her. It's been over a year.
Just a second.
So we deleted them.
Just a second. Fair enough.
She had 21 days on the contract.
Don't play with me, sir. Now you're going to tell me what took you a year, because he says, I held on to the video and the photographs for a year. Not that I believe him, but a year is a long time for you to give him notice, he and his wife, that there was substantial damage when you went into the house in February. They moved out January 31st. Now you're going to tell me what took you a year.
First of all, they didn't want to hear or receive anything from me.
Shh, just a second. They didn't leave a forwarding address. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
With you?
With me.
Did you leave a forwarding address with her attorney? That's a very easy thing for me to find out. That's either a yes or a no.
I don't recall.
So that would be a no. Did you have proof, or do you have any proof that you left her a forwarding address where you were going to be? That's either a yes or a no.
It's a no, but she had email.
That's a no.
And we had the U.S. Post Office. You could put mail on it, and it would get to us.
That's not true.
How's it not true?
That's
the U.S. government, just like now, I just bought a house. Guess what? I changed the address.
Just a second.
And somebody mails me, and it comes to my house this moment.
Listen to me, sir. That's assuming that you left a forwarding address with the post office. Shh. All I want to know is, after you moved out, do you have any proof that you gave her a forwarding address? The answer is no.
No, you're right. You're correct.
So you didn't have a forwarding address.
No, Your Honor.
What efforts did you make to find them?
Well, may I address the length that happened, why it took me so long to get to this point?
The first thing that you said was, I didn't have their forwarding address. My question is, what efforts did you make? Skip Tracer.
A company that finds people. I had to pay for that.
What was the name of the company? Do you remember?
I have it in my phone.
Would you get it for me, please?
Sure.
You have the same phone numbers and emails.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Her attorney had my email. Her attorney had my phone number. A Skip Tracer? Are you seriously? My phone number hasn't changed for 20 years.
He said not to address him from my lawyer or me ever again.
Please do not come to my home. We are hoping to have the carpets cleaned. I also do not ever want to see you again nor discuss any of this with you. So I will be taking a video accompanied with pictures of inside and outside of the premises on January 31st once we've completed the move out. I will not be addressing the below email here since this is not a factual discussion, let alone that it arguably is an attempt at blackmail.
She's referring to this
I
one.
hold to my previous emails. Going forward, I will not accept any emails from you. That's what you say to her.
Absolutely.
Just a second. That's what you say to her.
This is true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me, sir. I read your email. You said in lieu of a walkthrough, I'm going to take videos and pictures.
Which we did.
That you said.
And I kept for over a year.
Just a second. I don't know that you did because I don't see them.
Real people. Judge Judy.
Sylvia Meek says former tenants Raymond and Miranda Rowland caused extensive damage to her rental home.
Now,
if she had a case, her attorney would go.
Just a second. Don't tell me what I'm reading what you told her.
I understand.
You said
she's an unenjoyable person to deal with.
Listen to
I had
me.
no problem. I didn't tell that to her attorney.
Listen
Her attorney
to me.
and I had dialogue.
I don't know whether you did or not. He's not here as a witness to testify.
There's a
and
reason for that.
You cannot tell me that you had discussions with her attorney. All I know is I'm trying to find out from her why it took a year. She said that she hired a skip tracer.
Judge Judy, have you seen the contract that says 21 days? That she has 21 days. Have you seen that yet?
Listen to me, sir. I read your email. You didn't want to be contacted by her again, and you said, in lieu of a walkthrough, I'm going to take videos and pictures.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Which we did.
That's what you said.
Which we did.
That you said.
And I kept for over a year.
Just a second. I don't know that you did because I don't see them.
And she didn't contact us over 21 days, and a year and a half later.
Did you understand what I'm saying to you?
Correct. I do. Thank you.
The name of the company is We Serve Legal.
May I see it?
Yes. Premium process.
Sorry.
Well, you found them in 2019. I want to know when you hired them.
I
found
hired
them
in March of this year, Your Honor, because if I could tell you what happened during 2018.
Go ahead.
First of all, it took me a while.
Just a second.
Sorry.
I don't want you to tell me that in the year you had personal problems.
I did.
Well, that's irrelevant as to the defendants.
I had surgery.
It's irrelevant as to the defendants. The fact that you had personal issues is irrelevant as to them.
Okay.
So the answer is there is no valid reason in court, because you did, in fact, had hired counsel. Now, you may have discharged that counsel because the case was over and they moved out January 31st, but you did have, at some point, a lawyer. So the question is, for me, you have a lease. Your lease provides that within 21 days of their moving out, you have to notify them that there is any problem with the premises. There was clearly a problem. There's no question that there were problems with the premises. And there was no question, actually, that the damages that they caused to the premises exceeded their $500 pet deposit because they had already used their security.
Right.
All of that is true. But you had 21 days in which to notify them. Now, if you sent them a registered letter or a letter to their last known address, which was yours, either they had forwarding or not. You don't know that because you didn't send them a letter.
He said he would ignore everything that I sent, Your Honor.
If you read your lease...
I had it prepared.
If you read your lease, I don't have to read it. Mr. Rowland...
The lease doesn't say that, Your Honor.
The lease doesn't say you have to notify them within 21 days of their moving? May I see the lease, please? So you had to give him notice within 21 days to his last known address, which you did not do, or personally, and you didn't do it.
My lawyer mentioned that...
You can't tell me what your lawyer said to you. That's hearsay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You and your wife don't look like two stupid people. And if the two of you were dumb enough to move into a house that you describe as being in total disrepair, I may have been wrong. Maybe you are stupid.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Sylvia Meek and Miranda Rowland of causing extensive damage to her rental home.
Okay, it's now a year later. Has your house been rented?
I'm sorry.
Has your house been rented?
The house was rented in May of 2018.
The house was rented in May of 2018.
It took that long for my contractor to finish all the repairs, Your Honor. Okay. 5 months that I missed rent because of the damages.
What I'm telling you is, I assume that you had issues within that year that were either personal issues or health issues.
Grave
that does not,
issues.
And I'm sympathetic with you because I think that they caused more damage to the house than their $500 pet deposit.
That's not true.
I believe that they did.
No, that's not true.
Oh, no, I absolutely believe that you caused more damage to the house than the $500 pet deposit. I believe...
To a house that was falling apart when we got there? Oh, my gosh. Really? The roof
leaked. Listen to me.
The cook stove didn't work. She handed me a lighter. Here, light it, because she's too cheap to replace it.
Do you understand that it's like the name of this show is not the Judge Rollins Show. The name of the show has my name on it. So that when I'm speaking, they cut off your mic.
Oh, man.
They cut off your mic.
That's smart.
You and your wife don't look like two stupid people.
We're not, no.
And you're pretty well dressed. You're wearing expensive stuff. We're dumb enough to move into a house that was in total disrepair. I'm speaking. If the two of you were dumb enough to move into a house that you describe as being in total disrepair, then you give a totally different impression of seeing the two of you. You two look like two reasonable, working citizens. Put your hand down. So I may have been wrong. Maybe you are stupid, because only stupid people live with their children and dogs in a dilapidated dog or dogs in a dilapidated piece of property. Only stupid people do that. So either you are smart-looking people who are really stupid but give the wrong impression, or your story is full of baloney.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Now, I think that you did more damage to the plaintiff's house than the $500 security deposit. Unfortunately, this is not a combination of Dr. Phil and a court. So I can't give her any incapacitated for a period of time during the course of the past year. Your lease is specific, and she is contractually obligated to make an attempt to give you notice within 21 days of your termination of the lease or your vacating the property of the specifics laid out, specifically what she is alleging. She failed to do that, and therefore her case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
All are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
The guy said he wouldn't receive anything I sent.
If there was damage, as she's alleged, she would have had her attorney contact me.
They said they were Christian. Christian people don't do that.
We are Christians, and the reason why this case is successful is because the truth came out.
Christian people don't destroy people's homes.
She didn't follow her own lease agreement.
They just got away with it.
There is no case, and there never was.
From kids he can't afford.
Since you've been disabled, you've had 4 children.
Yes.
To a home he refuses to pay for.
That rental was $1,643, of which you paid $2. Then what did it change to?
106. No.
You are a man who's clearly learned how to game the system.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Robert Brown is suing his former landlord, Linda Leong, for poor living conditions, retaliation, harassment, and the return of his security deposit.
Order. All rise. It's case number 73 on the calendar in the matter of Brown versus Leong.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Brown, you were a tenant of Miss Leong in her house.
Yes, ma'am.
From when to when?
Late March of 2018 to late May of 2019.
You were living there with whom?
I was living there with my co-parent and caregiver, Iola.
Just a sec. Co-parent and caregiver.
Yes.
What does that mean?
We have children together, and she's my caregiver because I'm disabled.
Okay, so let me go through this. Your co-parent, who is your mate.
No, we are not in a relationship right now, currently.
How many children do you have together?
3.
How old are they?
3, 2, and 1.
And other than being your caregiver, does your how much is she paid by the state to be your caregiver?
Around 300.
300 or what? A year, a month, a day, an hour?
300 a month, ma'am.
And how long have you been disabled?
Since 2002.
What did you do before that?
I was a factory worker.
Other than these 3 children, do you have any other children?
Yes, ma'am, I have 3 other ones.
How old are they?
24, 20, and 11.
So since you've been disabled, you've had 4 children.
Yes.
And how much do you get on disability a month?
$9.15.
Other than the $9.15 a month and the $300 a month that is paid to your co-parent and caregiver, is there any other income that flows into your home?
The mother receives money from the state for the children.
She receives welfare from the state for the children. In what amount?
I say roughly 800.
800 for the 3 children or 800 each for the children?
For the 3 children altogether.
So, according to what you've told me, the monthly income for your family, since I assume you do not pay any child support for the 11-year-old since you're disabled, is $2,015 a month. Does that sound right?
Around that, yes, ma'am.
And the house that you were renting from Miss Leong, according to what I've read in the papers, the rental was $1,643 per month.
Yes, Your Honor.
Of which you paid $2.
No, ma'am.
How much did you pay?
It started off as $2. It was at the beginning of the tenancy.
At the beginning in March?
Yes.
And when did it change?
It changed in August.
So March, April, May, June, July, and August, you paid a total of $10 in rent for yourself, your caregiver and co-parent and partner, $10 towards rent.
Yes.
I'm getting all the facts together. Then I'm going to get on to what you're looking for.
Yes.
Just so I set the stage to what you're looking for.
Yes.
Now, in August, how did it change, and what did you have to pay in rent?
It changed because Iola's income changed, and her income reflects on my rental portion.
I thought Iola's income was only taking care of you.
The Section 8 counts the money that she receives from welfare also.
So you're not talking about any of this as earned income. So it's the money from the state for either welfare or what she gets for taking care of you.
Yes.
As your partner, not your wife, because that would be silly for her to be your wife, wouldn't it? All this money would evaporate. Then what did it change to, Mr. Brown?
It changed to $106.
So you had to pay $106 a month.
Yes, ma'am.
August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, and May. 10 months.
So they sent the notice in July, but it started in August. The
August,
106.
September, October, November, December.
Again.
Oh. It changed to 106 in August.
Yes, ma'am.
And then it changed again to what?
113, and this notice was in January, so then that would be, the change would happen in February.
And then it remained that?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pay each month your portion of the rent?
No.
You didn't?
No, I did not.
Starting when did you stop paying your portion of the rent?
That was in August.
When you got the first increase to 106?
Yes.
Prior to that, had you been paying your $2?
There was a running joke that I was going to give her a money order for $10, and then I did pay it, and then that was ripped up in my face, the receipt.
So the answer is you were not paying, even when it was $2, your portion of the rent when you first moved in. Just that's a yes or a no. You were not paying your $2. That's a yes.
Yes.
I'm glad you waited for me to finish. So let me understand this. For August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, and May, for a period of 10 months, let me finish my sentence. For a period of 10 months, you either did or did not pay your portion of the rent. I'm not talking about the $2 now. I'm talking about...
Right.
Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
When did you pay?
I was forced to pay by Section 8. I believe that was in March. I paid $2 altogether.
April and May, did you pay?
I tried to pay in April, and it was refused.
I'd like to see that you tried to pay. Did he try to pay you in April?
In April, he was kicked out of Section 8, so he owed the entire rent. He didn't pay it.
Okay, I got it. So what he tried to pay you in April was $113.
Correct. And I could not accept that.
Just a second. Mr. Brown, coming back to you for a moment, sir. Did you attempt to make a payment to her of $113 in April?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was your Section 8 housing terminated in April?
It was terminated.
Mr. Brown, what you're asking for is a return of security deposit from her.
Amongst other things.
The other things I don't care about. You have to understand something. You're asking for a lot of other things, and you are a man who's clearly learned how to game the system. I know that. I've been in family court, sir, and this place for almost 50 years. I've seen Mr. Browns in various forms, shapes, etc. I know about caregivers, I know about partners, I know about co-parents, but not partner. I know all co-parents, not partners, who made children who were 3, 2, and 1. I know all about you, Mr. Brown. All I want to know is where you got the $1,500 from for the deposit. That's the first thing I want to know. Where did you get it from?
$800 was from I received back.
And how long did you live there?
I lived there a year.
A year?
14 months.
From when to when?
From October of 2016.
Oh, so after you went on disability. You were on disability after you had left your job, and you were living with this co-parent, Iola, and you only had one child at that time when you came here? Or did you have no child?
Yes,
you had
ma'am.
one child. That's
well,
a yes.
with Iola, yes.
Was she then still your co-parent and caregiver? Or did she become your co-parent and caregiver when you moved here?
She became my co-parent when I moved here, yes.
Mr. Brown, I refuse to be a co-conspirator with you, sir. When was the last time you earned $1,500? So far, Miss Leung, I know, is out at least 2 months' rent because you were kicked out of Section 8 housing. You offered to pay her your $113 on a $1,600 rental bill. You offered to give her $113, and you didn't move. And then you stayed there another month. So far, she's out 2 months' rent. And in addition to that, you want me to direct her to give you back $1,500 that you didn't earn, that Bird gave you. Goodbye, Mr. Brown. We're done.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've been living under this nightmare for 15 months.
While I was on Section 8,
In my head for all that time.
the reason I didn't pay is because the premises had mice, roaches, and mold. And in the state of California,
And suddenly the hammer stopped.
if a premises has any of those, then the landlord is not entitled to rent.
He's done it before. He's a professional at this.
She was instrumental in me losing my Section 8 voucher.
He scammed the federal government, the state government, and the local county government.
No, definitely not a squatter.
His job is to scam the system, and he has.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bevan versus Roberts Wright step forward.
Shopping center owners Rachel and Timothy Bevan are suing their former tenant, 23-year-old Kaylee Roberts Wright, for breaking their lease.
Mr. and Mrs. Bevan, you built a little shopping center.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this the first time you built something like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Where was it?
It's in a suburb of Fort Worth, Texas.
How long did it take you to build?
We have 1 unit left to complete. We started construction last July.
So it's not yet finished?
No, 4 of the 5 units are finished.
On the inside.
Hmm?
On the inside.
Yes.
Do you have a photograph of it?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to take a look at it. So the outside shell is complete on the whole thing, but one interior. You rented one of the stores.
Yes, ma'am.
For what kind of business?
It's a clothing store.
Is this your first clothing store?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
23.
For you. What had you done before?
I was a secretary for my grandfather's business.
Anybody help you set this up?
No.
Did it yourself?
Yes.
What was the rent on the space that you rented from
It
the
was
plaintiffs?
$1,000 a month.
For how many square feet?
800.
Okay, now, this is your complaint. Your complaint is that Ms. Wright left, broke her lease, and you're suing her for $5,000. She says that she did, in fact, leave, but you actually constructively broke the lease by not providing sufficient heat, which made it uninhabitable by her, her customers, her son, who I assume she brings to work with her, was how old?
A year old.
And she gave you notice that the heat was insufficient. You failed to rectify it, and that thereby it was a constructive eviction. She has a counterclaim, and the counterclaim is for loss of revenue, although I'm not so sure you can prove that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It's clear to me that you wrote this in afterwards because you gave her a copy and it's not there.
Correct. We did not date it, unfortunately, on the date of the lease.
Well, then you shouldn't give this to me. You gave it to me and you said that we signed it on the official lease date, which was misleading.
I'm sorry.
Good.
Rachel and Timothy Bevan claim former tenant Kaylee Roberts Wright broke their lease. Kaylee says she had no heat and is countersuing for loss of income.
Okay, can I see a copy of the lease? Thank you. This doesn't have a commence date.
It does on the signature page. We wrote the commencement date, and then it's near the end, about 4 or 5 pages back. We signed the lease previous to the construction being complete, and we did not start the commencement date until the CO was issued by the city.
Official start date, January 7th, 2019.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you signed that?
I did sign it, but I didn't have a commencement date on my copy.
I'd like to see your copy. Well, you signed the lease on 1/7.
I signed the... Sorry.
I'm just saying, when you signed it, you didn't date it?
No, ma'am.
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Well, it's clear to me that you wrote this in, one or both of you wrote this in afterwards. The 2 dates and lease official start date is 1/7 on yours because you gave her a copy and it's not there.
Correct. We did not date it, unfortunately, on the date of the lease.
Well, then you shouldn't give this to me if you say this is the lease. Your lease date, which was misleading. I'm just letting you know it's misleading.
I'm sorry.
Good. Now, you moved in on what date?
January 7th.
So that was the de facto start date.
Yes, ma'am.
When was the first time that you gave them notice that the heat was defective?
Right before I moved in, I had let them know that there was an issue with the heater.
I'd like to see it.
Yes, ma'am.
This is before the move-in date.
Yes, ma'am.
This is December?
Yes, ma'am.
I could bring in a space heater up there.
Excuse me, Judge?
Okay, so before you moved in, there was clearly a problem with the heating system. That was in December. After you moved in on January 7th, show me when the next time was that you complained to the Bevans about the heat. And by the way, Ms. Wright, when did you move out?
I moved out on March 24th, I believe.
Well, I have a text on February 2nd that says my heater is blowing just cold air again, which suggests that she had told you about this before.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
In February, at the beginning, she was not leaving it on. That was the issue on February 2nd.
I don't know that. You're not a heater. Indoor temperature was 63 degrees, and there was clearly something wrong with the system, so I don't know what this email of March 5th was.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Rachel and Timothy Bevan claim former tenant Kaylee Roberts Wright broke their lease. Kaylee says she had no heat and is countersuing for loss of income.
Well, I have a text on February 2nd that says my heater is blowing just cold air again, which suggests that she had told you about this before.
Yes, ma'am.
And you say, okay, we'll get it fixed on Monday. And then on February 16th, she said, I'm not sure what's going on with my heater. It just seems to go in and out. It worked yesterday, but today I can't even get the fan to blow. I've had it on for over 30 minutes and it still hasn't turned on. And then you say, okay, I'll come and check within the next hour. If it still doesn't work, we have a space heater for you to use until we can fix it on Monday. Well, that's what you said on February 2nd. Now we're talking about February 16th.
The space heater, didn't you say that was in December? Was the last statement?
February.
February 2nd.
February 2nd and then February 16th. So that's so far twice in February. And then again on Tuesday, February 19th, she's Monday to check my heater. I was up there last night and it was doing the same thing as Saturday. That's 3 times in February. Then she wrote in March, did someone come in to check my heater? You wrote back, they were supposed to, but never got a text confirmation. That was in March. So we have so far at least 3 times in February by text, and then we start in March. Okay. Then you answer, Tim says that your unit is off this morning. Your place will not stay comfortable or heat up well, especially when it's so cold out. If you turn your unit off at night, you must keep it on at all times. And she answers you the same day. She said, I've tried leaving it on like he told me to do, but it did not work. The unit is the issue, not me turning it off. You say, okay, I'll be out there. Sounds to me that this heating unit was a problem in December and it never got fixed.
I have receipts showing how it was fixed in December. May I present those?
No.
Okay. In February, at the beginning, she was not leaving it on. That was the issue on February 2nd.
I don't know that. You're not a heat expert, so you can't tell me that. All I know is I have 3 instances in February and 2 in March where she says the heating system is not working again. It's blowing cold. You say, well, come. The repairman was supposed to be there. I didn't get a text confirmation.
I have, following that, where I did not receive any confirmation receipts showing he was on his way and replaced the entire unit.
Okay, can I see it?
There's that.
Yes.
And the date that he replaced the entire unit.
So here's an email stating that it was fixed. This is written slightly after. However, I have confirmation from Kaylee also stating that her heating unit was fixed on the day before the invoice is written.
On March 11th, the date of this invoice, the indoor temperature was 63 degrees, and there was clearly something wrong with the system. So I don't know what this email of March 5th was.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
On March 11th, the date of this invoice, the indoor temperature was 63 degrees, and there was clearly something wrong with the system. So I don't know what this email of March 5th was. Clearly, January, February, and up through March 11th, there was a problem with the heating. That's clear, based upon what you just gave me, that it was broken.
Yes. That's why he completely...
Well, then she had a right to move out.
He completely replaced the unit. We have video showing on days she was closed because of heating, it was 69 degrees inside the unit.
I don't care. Okay. She has the right to move out. If she doesn't have heat for 2 months, she has the right to move out. And she didn't have heat for 2 months. You just showed me she'd move out. Now, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for lost revenue.
Yes.
How do you intend to prove that?
I didn't have anything with me to prove it.
Well,
I had to move my stuff into another location.
That's not lost revenue.
I had to sell it at a discounted price, below wholesale.
You may have had to do that anyway, but you had the right to move out because you gave them ample notice that the heating wasn't working for over a 2-month period. So that's, to me, a constructive eviction. Your case is dismissed. We're finished. Thank you.
Parties are excused and they step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
We gave her discounted monthly rent just out of good nature. It was never asked for.
I was trying to work it out with my lawyer to make it sure that I wasn't going to get into any legal trouble.
We gave her a space heater to use. Again, the temperature never read below 68 degrees in the winter, and we felt like that was adequate.
The heater not working, they said that they have it to where it was 69 degrees, it was 59 degrees. I have pictures of it.
Within 3 weeks of her being in the unit, she was already asking to be released from it to sublet it to someone else. She just wasn't ready.
Me trying to close shop was my son was going to be admitted to the hospital to have a feeding tube, and I wasn't going to be able to be there to run the business.
Our contract is the same. We haven't had issues with any of our other 4 tenants, and it's an unfortunate event.
Read your lease, have a lawyer check your lease.
These 2 people wouldn't be here unless you owe them money.
I don't owe them anything, Your Honor.
A roommate is reminded of his debts.
Jazz gave me $300 for insurance, but that was it.
That's incorrect.
Did you pay your rent every month?
I was short in January.
He only paid in full 1 month.
And they won't let him forget a dime.
He bought a new car right after I helped him.
She says she gave you $200 towards the down payment.
She's lying.
And what about you?
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
20-year-olds Judah Primacio and his girlfriend, Jasmine Vallejos, are suing their ex-roommate and Judah's family friend, Zachary Iona, for unpaid rent, a car loan, stolen identity, and ruined credit.
Order. All rise. It's case number 71 on the calendar, the matter of Vallejos Primacio versus Joanna.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
This, sir, is your cousin?
Yes.
First cousin?
No, distant.
How distant?
Actually, Honor, raised together. We've grown up together.
Okay, so he's a close family friend.
Yes.
This is your girlfriend?
Yes.
And you are 19?
I'm 20.
And you?
20.
And you?
18.
The 3 of you rented an apartment together. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. You signed the lease.
We all did.
It is your claim that the defendant moved out.
Yes.
Yes.
And he moved out owing you money.
Yes, that's correct.
And he moved out to move into the home of his girlfriend.
No, he moved into his parents' home.
His parents' house with the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who is now pregnant.
As far as I understand, yes.
Is that right?
She had a miscarriage.
How much after you moved into your parents' house?
About a month or two afterwards.
Is she still living in your parents' house?
Yes.
You pay your parents rent?
I do.
How much?
I pay $200 for bills.
What about the girlfriend?
She doesn't pay anything.
Why?
She just moved in after she graduated high school.
Well, let me understand this, Mr. Iona. The three of you moved in together, and as far as I can see from the papers of all three of you, you made a reasonable arrangement that they would pay 2/3 of the rent, because they're two people. You would pay 1/3 of the rent. Is that right?
Correct.
And you moved in what month and year?
October of 2018.
And in what month did your girlfriend all but move in?
She never moved in.
I said all but move in. I mean, she did get pregnant in your apartment,
yes.
not in your parents' apartment, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So in what month and year did she all, and that became a source of irritation among you, because now the rent should be split in half, because you have two people sharing your room and two people sharing a room.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Did you pay your rent every month?
I did, up until I lost my job in January, or December.
Well, so the answer is no. I
No.
didn't pay my rent every month. I had lost my job. So what month didn't you pay?
I was short in January. I was short rent.
Your Honor, he was also short on many other months.
He only paid in full 1 month.
They are wrong, Your Honor.
Just a second. Did you pay them in check or cash?
I always paid cash.
That's incorrect, Your Honor. I have proof.
That he paid in...
He transferred to my bank account. There was only, I think, 1 or 2 months where he paid in cash.
Did you ever transfer money into her bank account?
I did.
So that was also a method. May I see other months?
Yes.
Mr. Iona, were you short other months?
Just January and February.
January and February?
Correct.
How short were you January and February?
Not too short, a couple $100.
Not a couple of hundred. I mean, this is a business.
Yeah.
How much short were you in January and February?
200 in January and 300 in February.
I have the exact rate. Okay.
So far, according to you, that's $500.
Correct.
Then there was a car loan. When was that?
December of 2018.
The same month. How much was the car loan and who made it to you?
The car loan was for $13,000.
No, they. Did either of these two people give you money towards a car?
Jazz gave me $300 for insurance, but that was it.
That's incorrect, Your Honor.
Just a second. Jasmine, she gave you $300 for insurance, or she paid the insurance?
She paid the first month of insurance.
And that's also incorrect, Your Honor. Okay. Sorry.
When did you pay them back? So far, from you, I have $800. I would like to see proof of when you paid them back the $800.
I did everything in cash, Your Honor.
So you have no proof?
I have a pay stub from my $900 check in January, and I gave them the money.
Oh, who did you give the $900 to?
I gave $400 of it to Judah, and then $100 to Jasmine.
Did he give you $400?
No, Your Honor.
Did he give you $100?
No, everything he gave me was for rent.
Did he give you in February $100?
No.
Towards repayment of any of this? Did he give you $400?
No, Your Honor. But he did give us $100, but we had to use that towards his rent of being short.
So he gave you $100,
Yes.
but it was for what month's rent?
It was for January's rent, and it was going towards February's rent because he was late.
That's only $100. That doesn't stretch out that far. Did he pay?
He paid us $100 for helping him out with the car, and
How did you help him out with the car?
we gave him money, the
How much?
$300.
Well, the $300 was for insurance.
We
Yes.
also gave him $200 for a down payment.
That's incorrect, Your Honor. I have the full down payment in my evidence right here.
Show me. I mean, you're going to say that it was a $200 down payment?
He
or-
bought a new car right after I
Just a
helped
second.
him.
Just a second. Are you going to show me that it says that you put down $200?
I put down $510. They didn't pay anything towards the down payment at all.
I don't know that. She says she gave you $200 towards the down payment.
She's lying.
Okay. And what about you? You see, I have a feeling that these two people wouldn't be here unless you owe them money.
I don't owe them anything, Your Honor.
Well, so far, I have, even by your own statement, you owe them money. Because so far you owe them $800, according to your own statement, and you paid them back, according to you, $500. He says you never gave them $400.
I did pay them back.
Just a second. Tell me when.
In January, when I got that check, I gave them the money.
No, I asked you a question. You told me you got the paycheck in January. It was $900. I'll show it to you. And you said I gave him $400 and I gave her $100. That's exactly what you said. Well, 4 and 1 are 5. Even my rudimentary math tells me that's 5. According to you, you owe them 8. So according to you, you still owe them $300.
They also have my bed at the apartment, which was listed at the apartment.
I don't care.
I gave it to them as part of rent to pay them back. They have it in there.
I don't care. Did you also continue to pay your car insurance out of her bank account for months?
No, I did not.
You did not?
I did not. She even got a refund from that $300 from Allstate.
That's not what I asked you, whether they gave her back the money. What I asked you was your car insurance, without her permission, continued to be paid out of the same bank account where she paid it the first time?
No, it wasn't.
No?
That is incorrect, Your Honor.
Show me.
Okay, I have it.
It's so easy to prove. Why would you say not? It's so easy for her to show that the money came out every month for the car insurance for, say, 2 months or 3 months. She may have gotten reimbursed because she complained about it when she saw it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't taken out. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was it taken out?
Yes.
So why can't you just say that? It was taken out. You didn't pay it.
I didn't.
You didn't pay it when it was due. It was taken out of her account.
That wasn't to either of our knowledge. She paid it the first month. That was all that was supposed to be paid. It's her fault for not stopping the subscription, and I told them also that,
Your Honor,
they didn't want to keep repaying it.
You have a car.
Yes, I do.
You're supposed to pay the insurance every month?
Yes.
That's what it said on the loan. On the loan, it says you have to pay the insurance every month, right?
Yes.
You have a bank account?
Yes.
Because you write checks. You would have to write a check or get a money order to pay for the car. So you know whether or not you paid car insurance for, say, the month of February. If you didn't pay it for February, you either were in breach of your contract with the loan company or somebody else paid it because they didn't cancel your insurance, right?
They did. The insurance got canceled in February. That's why there's no way that they would have kept paying the insurance.
So what you're telling me is after the 1 month of $300 where she did pay that you owe her for, money never came out of her account again for your insurance?
Correct.
Only that one time?
Yeah.
I'm not reading all of this. All I want to see from you is someplace circled where the insurance came out more than the 1 month that you acknowledge that you loaned him the money for insurance. Make a circle
So this
on
is
the
where
bank
it was-
statement.
Circle it. Okay. So this is where it was refunded.
Just make 2 circles wherever the money came out.
That's right here. There's the refund and where it came out on that.
Two months to Allstate. Is that who insures your car?
Yes, or who did insurance my car.
2 months. What happened in January?
I called them and filed identity theft because that was the only way I could get my money back. He doesn't even still. Company worked with me, but I still didn't get it back for the down payment.
You have a check for the down payment?
I have another bank statement. And I have showing that he paid $200. Verbally, he said he'd pay $100. Oh, okay.
Shh.
Okay.
What month did you buy your car?
In December, ma'am.
This is January 30th that it was posted. The transaction was January 29th.
Yeah, it was pending.
I don't know if it was pending or not. It said the date it was posted and the date of transaction. The date of the transaction was January 29th.
Yes.
The day it was posted. He bought his car. Let me see when you bought your car. Did you get another roommate, by the way?
His brothers moved in with us.
Good. Is he paying rent?
Our parents are covering his rent.
I don't know what this is. Okay, so far, it is your statement that your cousin friend did not give you $400.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, but did give you $100 towards the rent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700. We're finished. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was just mostly because I had people over, friends.
I did. I spoke up about it, but
They didn't like certain friends that I had over, and they wanted to kick them out.
he didn't care, she didn't care. I mean, in the long...
I can't even say how much I feel.
I hope to continue trying to talk to them after this.
How angry I am.
Yeah, only time will tell.
Can't always trust family now.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Owens versus Reed, step forward.
Gwendolyn Owens is suing Doretha Reed for the cost to repair her car after Doretha's son crashed his bike into it.
All right, Miss Owens, what is your claim that the defendant's son, who was riding a bike, crashed into your car?
Yes.
Causing damage. And you were taking your son to school.
My grandson.
Your grandson to school. Was the defendant's son on his bicycle going in the same direction that you were?
Yes.
Going to school?
I assume yes.
So he was traveling correctly. He was going with the flow of traffic.
Yes.
And according to what I read here, cars were sort of going around him.
Correct.
Because he was on a bicycle.
Yes.
And the car in front of you went around him successfully.
Yes.
And you went to go around him.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you went back in and you heard something hit your car.
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He was turning. He wasn't going straight. He was trying to turn around. That's how he hit my passenger and turned around. I guess he was going back in the other direction.
Were you trying to turn around for some reason?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Gwendolyn Owen says 13-year-old Donovan Jemison crashed his bike into her car while she was in the process of passing him on the road.
Now, the car in front of you went around him successfully.
Yes.
And you went to go around him.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you went back in and you heard something hit your car.
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
And?
I heard something hit my car. My granddaughter was in the back seat. So I pulled over on the side of the street, and the people behind me stopped. There were two people behind me. I stopped and got out.
Everybody stopped because the bicyclist was on the ground.
Yes. I got out, went to see him, and he walked across the street. The bike was still in the street, and we were concerned about him, so we asked where his parents were. You know, where did he live? He said right across the street. I ran over and knocked on the door to try to get an answer. I didn't get an answer. Went back over. The two witnesses were still there with him, and he tried to call home, and there was still no answer.
Owens, his mother took him to the doctor. He was okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you didn't sue her?
No, ma'am.
No, you didn't sue her for hitting your son.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Miss Owens.
Yes.
I've read these papers, and I, quite frankly, it's sort of incredulous to me that you think he's responsible for this accident.
Well, Your Honor, I also have the police report with the witnesses saying that it was his fault.
Just a second. I don't read witnesses' statements from a police report.
Okay.
You told me that you went around him.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And are there cars coming in the other direction? You see where the cars is? Are there cars coming in the other direction?
No, not at that time, no.
No. Is it possible for cars to come in the other direction?
Yes, it's possible, yes.
So it's a two-lane highway?
Yes.
So you had to go over into the other lane in order to pass him?
Yes.
And then you went back?
Yes.
Your problem is to make sure he has enough space.
I did make sure he had enough space.
So
Can I show you?
Yeah, sure, you can show me.
Okay. All right. This is my car here.
I understand where your car is.
All right. I had passed by him, okay? And he was turning. He was trying to turn around. He wasn't going straight. He was trying to turn around. That's how he hit my passenger back door.
He was trying to turn around?
He was trying to turn around. I guess he was going back in the other direction.
Just a second. Stand up. Tell me your name.
Donovan.
Donovan, were you going to school that day?
Yes.
You were going to school that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Step back. And when you were going to school that day, you go in the same direction as you were going?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you trying to turn around for some reason?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you remember what happened with Mrs. Owen's car?
No.
You don't remember?
No, ma'am.
You just remember being on the ground?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you in the car?
Yes.
Stand up.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Gwendolyn Owen says 13-year-old Donovan Jemison crashed his bike into her car while she was in the process of passing him on the road.
Were you trying to turn around for some reason?
No, ma'am.
Do you ever drive your bike to school?
Sometimes.
How often?
Not that often.
Well, prior to this day that this happened, when was the last time you drove your bike to school?
It's been a while, so...
Why were you driving your bike to school that day?
I was in a rush because I was going to be late.
So you were going in the same direction?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember what happened with Mrs. Owen's car?
No.
You don't remember?
No, ma'am.
You just remember being on the ground?
Yes, ma'am.
And did they successfully go around you?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you in the car?
Yes.
Stand up. Is this young man in your class or in your grade?
Oh, no. I'm about to be a senior.
And he?
Oh, no. I just be seeing him walk to school sometimes when she be dropping me off to school.
Okay. But he was going to school that day?
Mm-hmm.
Going in the same direction you were?
Yes.
Okay. You were facing forward, so you didn't see what happened in the rear of you.
Oh, no. But, like, we was going straight. Like, we was going around, like, all the other cars was. And then he hit the back door. And then that's when she pulled over and stopped to make sure.
Just a second. The back passenger door?
Yes.
Right, which is when you would be going past him. Yeah, Miss Owens, you're lucky Miss Reed didn't sue you, and you're lucky he wasn't injured.
Well, I also have text messages where she said that she would pay for the damages.
Well, if she wants to pay for them, that's fine. If she voluntarily, I would not order her to pay for the damages. You passed a biker. It's your responsibility in a car to make sure you have plenty of clearance with that biker.
I had plenty of clearance.
Clearly not.
He turned to turn around to go in the other direction. The police report also has stated that.
Just a second. That's ridiculous. He was going to school, and he was going in the same direction you were going to drop your grandson off at school. So there would be no reason for him to turn around.
Well, for some reason, he did turn around.
I know where your car was hit. Your car was hit on the back passenger side. It collided with him. And if he was injured, his mother would sue you. I don't see any statements of witnesses here.
It's at the bottom, Brian.
Are you talking about this?
Yes.
This narrative? Sorry, that's not a witness's statement. The policeman wasn't there. This is a synopsis of what somebody told a police officer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was the witness that witnessed it.
I don't know that.
And that's his name at the bottom.
I don't know that that was the statement of the witness. That's what the police officer's summary is.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
My responsibility is to say, whose fault is it when somebody is on a bike and somebody passes the biker? And I see no logic for this young man trying to turn around when the school was in the same direction you were going in. And it's just as easy for me to assume that you cut in too fast. Well, I don't know that, and he doesn't remember. Your case is dismissed. We're finished. You were lucky his mother didn't sue you.
Excuse, you may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the
car, and they were turning around.
Oh my God, it was very frightening. I thought he was really hurt.
The police knocked on the parents' door trying to get them up to come see about their child.
And I ran downstairs and ran outside to go see if he was okay.
She said that she would make arrangements to pay by May the 20th.
I actually got pushed into saying that she basically bullied me into it.
I'm glad he wasn't hurt, but my car is still damaged.
Share that road.
Where's her dog? Where's her dog?
A pet held hostage.
If she could settle what she owed me, she could have her dog.
Well, I want to know where her dog is.
Can the owner come to the rescue?
She know exactly where the dog is at.
It's not there. That's a lie. His witness that's sitting down went with us to go get the dog.
His witness can't even find the knees for his pants.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
18-year-old Beatrice Barkin is suing her ex-boyfriend's brother, Avis Wright, for stealing her dog.
Order. All rise. Versus Wright.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Wright, how old are you?
I'm 32.
Who do you live with?
Currently, I got a little situation going on. I live in North Dakota, but I'm currently in Minnesota taking care of some personal problems. So. But I got a house in North Dakota. I live with my wife in North Dakota.
I don't hear a word you said. Currently, you have a situation. Where do you live?
Where do I live? I said I live in North Dakota, but I'm currently in Minnesota taking care of some personal situation.
Where do you work?
I work for MnDOT in Minnesota doing construction.
How many days a week do you work there doing construction?
It depends on what work we got available.
Where's her dog?
I work.
Where's her dog?
Her dog is over North Minneapolis.
Is where?
Is in North Minneapolis.
What's the address? What's the address where the dog is?
Is James Avenue.
You do want to get home, don't you?
That don't matter to me.
You want to stay in Los Angeles?
I mean, you don't even know. You don't know what's going on. So
let me tell you what's going on. What's going on is Miss Barkin says she gave you her dog to train.
That's what she
said.
said.
Now, with your current situation, from wherever you are to wherever you are, you're not in any place where you have a dog.
Exactly. That's my point. Exactly.
So I want to know where her dog is.
Her dog is where I just told you is at.
With whom?
I live in Minneapolis, man. There's a lot of things going on that
I don't care about your life.
I don't know how to explain.
I don't want to care about your life. Who's taking care of the dog now?
I don't know how to answer your question. I am still taking care of the dog.
Well, you're not taking care of the dog. You're between two different states. How could you be taking care of the dog? You travel with the dog?
I just told you I'm in Minnesota currently now, but my address, you asked me where do I live. My home is in North Dakota, but I'm on probation. I'm on probation in Minnesota.
I only want to know
Well, you asked me a question, I will have to explain that question to you.
No, I don't want you to explain.
I don't know what answer you're looking for.
I just want you to tell me where the dog is.
And I just did.
Good. Now, today, as we're standing here, who's watching the dog?
My sister is.
And what's your sister's name?
What's the relevance of all of that?
I want to know what your sister's name is.
I don't want to disclose that information because she don't have nothing to do with this dog party. If she could settle what she owed me, she could have her dog. That person don't have nothing to do with it. This lady have not paid nothing. I got evidence to prove everything she talking about is a lie. I just want to go through the evidence and you can face that. But however, me giving somebody else's name, I'm not going to do that.
Mr. Wright, if you had a counterclaim...
I don't want a counterclaim. She going to lose her case regardless because she owed me. I don't owe her nothing. I don't owe her nothing, period.
Let me explain something to you. You got a dog, probably, and you had no right to
Where the dog to stay? The dog stayed with me from the day she bought the dog. It's been in my house the whole time.
To shut up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do us both a favor. Just listen, okay? All right.
You probably had no business getting a dog because it doesn't sound to me as if you chose a very, very together person to train your dog. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. He works construction 5 days a week.
That's what a lie.
So, hey, don't speak to me.
I'm sorry, but...
Don't speak to me.
Okay.
Don't speak to me. He says he works construction 5 days a week. Bird, would you take his phone away from him?
I was going to show you.
Take his phone away from him. Bird.
Yeah, your phone. There you go. Thanks.
You got the dog when?
March 31st.
From the beginning of April to today's date, how many days has the dog been with you?
From March 31st until May 2nd when I gave him the dog was with me in the night. The dog only spent one night with him. The dog spent most of the nights with me, and the dog spent a night with his niece. And he got the dog from his niece's house when I was at work.
Do you know this address that he's talking about?
He's lying about that. He does not know. He has 2 blood sisters, and I know their names, and I know their address, and I know where they live. He's lying. He doesn't... I know his sister because why? His brother is my...
Just a second. Different program.
Okay.
Right now, I don't know where the dog is. Neither do you. I don't know whether he has it, whether he sold it.
He sold
whether
it.
He did something wrong with him. Okay, so it's a good thing that you didn't do that much bonding with the dog, that it's not a dog that you had for a year or 2 or 3 or 4. I want you to show me a bill of sale from where you bought the dog.
Here you go. Do I bring it inside?
What made you... This is nothing. What is this?
That's my receipt from the lady I bought it from.
It's not a receipt for anything. It's not signed by anybody.
It is a receipt. I have messages. I bought it from on Facebook.
Good. If you have messages, I'll take a look at Facebook messages.
She purchased the dog.
I purchased the dog. I bought the dog.
Don't speak to her, or I'm sending him back. And he makes you look very short.
I am short.
I want to see something that I believe. This is nonsense. It's not a bill of sale. It's not signed by anybody. You go into a store and you can get a receipt like this. It's a nothing.
Okay, but that's from this lady named Shannon. I had to drive like 2 hours away from Minnesota to go get the dog at 9.
So let me see. You said you had texts from this woman, Shannon, from where you bought the dog. Let me see them. This is nothing. It's 0.
These are text messages of when I still owed her $200, and there's a
May I see?
There's
May
a
I
money
see?
order
May I
right
see?
there.
May I see?
The dog was $350.
Shh. I see 150 sent by MoneyGram.
I sent.
Shh. I see $150 sent by MoneyGram to Shannon. I want you to point out. Yes. Okay. right here on March 30th. Don't forget the $200 owed on the puppy tomorrow. I won't, trust me. I'm super excited. Got everything for my puppy. Got it. Now I want to see a picture of the puppy. What kind of dog was it?
It's a poodle mixed with a beagle.
Now I'm going to get back to you. He got the dog for some sort of training. He says you owe him for dog training he did. And if you don't pay him for the dog training, you're not getting the dog back. He doesn't have a counterclaim. That's what the case is about. Now, which sister is taking care?
She's not my bottom.
Well, because she knows your biological sisters. You have two quiet, my mouth is moving. You have two biological sisters. So neither one of your sisters is watching the dog. Who's watching the dog? Listen, let me explain what it's going to cost you. Do you understand?
Listen,
I'm going to explain. You're supposed to get an appearance fee for coming on this show. Do you understand? You either get it or not. Your choice. Who is the dog staying with?
I have the dog over in North Minneapolis at the place.
I can't understand you. You have the dog where?
I just told you the same thing I'm about to repeat, and you keep cutting me off. I said I have the dog over in Minneapolis where she don't try to go in the house and break in the house and take the dog multiple times while I had to hide it while she thought I was at work. She know exactly where the dog is at. The lady that the dog is at, I live in that house in Minneapolis. But I'm not going to give you that lady name. But she know where the dog is at.
Okay. Raise your hand if you tried to go and get the dog.
Both of them.
Raise your hand. Good. Okay, so you know where the dog is?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
the dog,
you know what the dog is?
It's not there. It's not there.
Because when they went there, I had them get there. I already knew they was going to go do it.
That's a lie. And
so
plus,
I had to hide the dog.
His witness that's sitting down went with us to go get the dog.
His witness can't even find the knees for his pants. I am going to give you an order. Show will execute that order with you. What we're going to do with the defendant's appearance fee is hold it until you get your dog back. Do you understand? Now, he can go back to Minneapolis. He can go wherever he wants to go. He can do that.
Yes, ma'am.
But he is going without any money. And the only way he's going to get his money is if you get the dog. Do you understand? Perfect. Wait outside for the order. Thank you.
It's just that simple.
Why is our excuse? You may step out.
If she don't get my money, she's not gonna get the dog. She didn't get my money, so she's not getting the dog.
I needed my money because he's not gonna give my dog back.
From the day she bought the dog been with me. She came from buying the dog straight to me.
He only spent one night with my puppy.
She don't have no time for that dog.
He sold it. He sold it to a lady and he can't get it back.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lindsay Clark versus Gilliard. Step forward.
Leanne Lindsay Clark is suing her niece, Janae Gilliard, and nephew, James Gilliard, for the value of a car and a loan for bail.
Miss Clark.
Yes.
The young woman is your niece. Is that your sister's daughter?
My sister's daughter, yes.
And the young man standing next to her is your nephew. That's also your sister's child.
Yes.
Same sister.
Yes.
I'm 27 years old.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a program coordinator for a nonprofit organization.
And you?
Forklift operator.
And what do you do?
I was a substitute teacher. I have a degree in elementary education.
Miss Gilliard, you have children. How many?
I have 2 children.
How old are they?
They are 2 and 4.
And they are currently placed with your aunt.
That is correct.
How long have they been in placement with your aunt?
About a year.
You visit? Don't speak in.
Okay.
And they're placed by the courts.
That's correct.
This is what this case is about with regard to you. Your aunt says that there came a time, sometime last year, that she, who has custody of your 2 children, purchased a car for you. She purchased a car for you, she says, with the understanding that you would use that car to sort of get yourself back on track so that you could regain custody of your children. So far, does that sound right?
I don't think the children have anything to do with it. I know that she's seen me struggling, and she...
How would I know about your children if she didn't tell me about your children in her complaint?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I assume that you visit the children, or that you visit... Does she take the children for you to see them someplace? Where do you see your children?
That doesn't have anything to do with a car.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Leanne Lindsay Clark is suing her niece, Janae Gilliard, and nephew, James Gilliard, for the value of a car and a loan for bail.
Okay, she says that, which is probably true, having sat in the family court, that when children are removed, there is usually a plan for the biological parent to regain custody of their children. And usually, since in your case, it probably had something to do with drugs. Court said you have to have completed a drug program, you have to be tested for drugs periodically, you have to be working, and as part of that, that's your plan to get your kids back. And I'm actually 100% certain that that's what the plan was, for you to get your children back. Your aunt says that in order to help you with your plan, she purchased a car for you last year. And the agreement that she had with you was as long as you stayed clean, sober, and was working towards getting your kids back, that was the deal. That's why she did it. That's what she says. And considering that there is some objective data that supports that, Ms. Gilliard, A, that you're 32 years old, you have a job, there would be no reason for your a non-parent, and that you acknowledge in your answer that you had an unclean drug test at some point, which is when your aunt came to get the car. That all makes sense. Those are objective facts. So the story that I sort of put together from that makes sense. But I will allow you, if you like, to clarify anything that I got wrong.
Yeah. Sorry,
just clarify anything. Just clarify anything that you don't
yeah,
tell me the whole story.
The car was purchased off the basis of me keeping my job. She knew that I was walking to work, and she wanted to help me out. In Leavenworth, Kansas, they don't have any public transportation, and she knew I was walking 20 minutes.
Listen to me. Don't tell me what she knew, because in the law, you can't decide what's in the operation of someone else's mind, what they knew, what they thought, what they cared about, what was important to them. That all calls for the operation of the mind. I want you to tell me subjectively what fact that I just stated for you was incorrect.
And that the fact that she she voluntarily said that she wanted to help me purchase a car.
And why would, now I can ask for the operation of your mind, because you're right here. I can say to you, here is children, something that she didn't bargain for. I assume since she bought you this car, that your house is open to her so that you can visit the children, or that you visit, does she take the children for you to see them someplace? Where do you see your children?
That doesn't have anything to do with a car.
Oh, this has everything to do with me. Do you live with your aunt?
No, I don't live with my aunt.
Where do you see your children?
I see them in Leavenworth, Kansas.
At her house?
No, I don't go to her house.
At whose house?
I have a home that I bring them to.
How often?
What does that have to do with a car? I don't feel comfortable answering that.
Well, that's sort of interesting. That would lead me to sort of a lot of very interesting questions. And that would lead me to a lot of very interesting questions of whether or not there's something going on here.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your complaint says that the reason you bought a car for her is because it was court-ordered. I don't believe that I will ever see a court order directing someone to have a car.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Leanne Lindsay Clark is suing her niece, Janae Gilliard, and nephew James Gilliard alone for bail.
Now, usually when you don't want to answer a question, it's because you don't want to get into trouble.
No, it's because kids don't have anything to do with a gift, a car that was purchased as a gift.
Yes, it does.
No,
well, it does.
doesn't.
Actually, it does, and it's getting more to do with it, because when the children are placed with you,
yes,
they live with you.
They do.
They do. Full time?
Yes.
All the time?
All the time.
All the time?
Yes.
Well, that's not what your niece says. She says she takes them to her house, where she has a home.
And she did at one time. She did.
At what time?
When they were having visitation that way. But now we just go down to the office, and that's where they visit.
Well, this is not going to go away.
That's all.
These questions are not going to go away. Was there a time when she was taking the children to her house?
Yes.
And was that permitted by the court?
Yes.
All right. And then something happened in order to make that supervised visitation.
Yes.
Just a minute. Listen, the two of you can decide that if you don't like these questions, if you don't like my questions, you can say, you know what, Judge, we're going to take my case back to wherever we came from in small claims court, because your complaint says that the reason you bought a car for her is because it was a car.
Exactly.
There's a second. Not exactly. Court never orders that you have a car. I don't believe that I will ever see a court order directing someone to have a car, that you must have a car. The court will order that you have a job before you can get your children back.
But
so all of this is in the complaint. And pay careful attention, the two of you, so you can look at each other and decide what you want to do. I don't plan on getting off this tear until I find out what's going on. So if you're not happy with this, say, we're going back to small claims court. Thank you very much. Do you understand?
I hear
you want to talk to him?
Yeah, I don't see what kids have to do with this at all. It's about a car. It's about a car.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you in a family dispute? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
This is very, very easy. Either you're going to answer my questions about your children, the car, where they are, how long they've been there, whether you are taking them to your house now or not. These are all things that I am going to find are important to this car issue. Why she bought you the car, why she came to take it away. And if you're not comfortable answering those questions, you can say goodbye and leave. That's what you're going to do. And I'm going to keep answering until I feel as if I have a truthful answer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, you may not want to, neither may your brother want to answer questions, but they're going to be questions that are posed. So you want to talk to your brother for a minute?
No, I answer your questions.
Great. When were the children coming to your house? In what months and year?
I don't recall.
Okay, case is over. Case is dismissed without prejudice. Go back to where you came from. And I would suggest that social services go pay a home visit immediately.
Parties are excused and they step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
This is a lie. He made this all up.
An overheated driver motors through her defense.
If I would have hit his car, he would have had my insurance and it would have been already taken care of because I make way enough money to pay for a mirror or anything else.
Let me know when you're finished.
I'm not finished. I'm not getting into it with the grown man over a fake claim. I don't even like being in the same room with this man.
Fine. Step out. Out!
Judge Judy.
Now to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Ignacio Olivas is suing Brittany Hill Warner for damages to his vehicle after her car door flew open and hit his car.
Order. All rise. It's case number 60 on the calendar in the matter of Olivas versus Warner.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
Mr. Olivas, it is your claim that Miss Warner damaged your car.
Right.
She damaged your car, according to you, when, as you were pulling out of a parking spot, she had just gotten into the parking spot, opened up her door into your car.
Right.
Was your car moving at the time?
No, ma'am.
You were about to pull out of the spot.
I wasn't ready to pull out. I was checking some receipts.
So you were sitting in the car?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was in a parking lot of a big store, a Walmart?
Walmart, yes, ma'am.
Had you already been in the store?
Yes.
And you were going into the store?
That's correct.
On what date did this happen, Mr. Olivas?
February 28, 2019.
About what time?
11 o'clock in the morning.
That's not true.
How long had you been sitting in your car?
3-4 minutes.
Did Miss Warner pull up?
The passenger side.
Did you see her car pulling in?
I wasn't watching because I was watching my receipts, looking at my receipts. And then when I noticed is when I hit a big hit on my car. When she opened the door.
That's a lie.
And the wind.
I don't want to hear you.
And the wind, it was too windy, and the wind took the door away from her and scratched my car and broke the mirror.
Oh, that's a lie. It's not Chicago. Like, the wind is not that bad. It's Reno, Nevada.
What part of I don't want to hear you until I ask you? Don't you understand? Who is this?
That's my husband.
Good. I have a few questions for him. Stand up. How long have you known each other?
About 11 years.
I would like the first and last name of anybody that you know who fixes cars. First and last name.
I got the last name. I don't know the first.
Well, that's not helpful to me.
His name is...
Shut up! I don't want you to open your mouth until I ask you a question. Do you understand?
I do.
This is not going to be easy. It's going to get harder. So you do not have the name of anyone who fixes cars.
Garcia.
Now, did your wife just tell you the first name?
Yes.
How do you know Garcia? Do you know Garcia?
He fixes all of the family members' cars.
How did you meet him?
Through fixing my car.
Through
My
your wife?
Yes.
So you met Mr. his first name. She had to tell you his first name, right? This is all going to become very important. You understand how it's going to become important, right?
Yes.
Yes. You understand? You understand how it's going to become very important. You know exactly where I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
Smart.
Oh, I'm all over
Now
it.
you can sit.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you both got out of the car, when this happened, and I assume you both got out of the car.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened?
She said, I'm sorry, I will promise you to fix your car, whatever the damage is.
Okay, that's what she said.
And I asked her for a pin to write down her name and policy insurance and everything. She don't have it. I don't have it either. So I asked her for her phone number. She gave me the number, and I called right there, right away. And
Did Miss Warner, according to her answer that she signed, ever say to you, I felt badly for him and told him that my husband knew someone who could fix it cheaply? Now we know where we're going, right? Right. Not I know someone who can fix it. My husband knew someone who could fix it cheaply. She said, even though my door never hit his car. And she gave you her number, and you called the number, so you knew it was the right number.
she gave me her husband's phone number, and I did call him, and he told, I will call you back. Since then, I haven't heard from them at all.
Okay. So now you can stand up, sir.
Thank you.
Good. Just answer my questions. So your wife knew Garcia's name. Your wife knew Garcia's number. So there would be nothing to prevent your wife from saying to him, I really feel badly for you. My family's been using somebody for years. His name is Garcia. This is his number. He could probably fix it for you cheaply. Now, does that sound reasonable to you? I just read you what she wrote. Doesn't it sound reasonable if what her excuse is I never hit his car, but I felt sorry for him, and I wanted to get him somebody who could fix his car cheaply? She could give him his name and his number because you got all that information from her, right?
Wrong.
You just told me you met Garcia through your wife.
Correct.
Right. So she had the information, so she had to give it to you sometime 10 years ago, 5 years ago,
Correct.
whatever. She had the information.
She doesn't have it anymore, though. I'm the one who deals with all the
You don't even know his first name.
Because I call him Mr.
Just a
Garcia.
second. Sit down. It doesn't make sense, and if something doesn't make sense, sir, it's not true. That doesn't require an answer. That was a statement. Close your mouth. But then you managed to get a paper, Mr. Nation.
Yes, I did.
Her tag number and the license plate number on her
Right.
car. And you got no satisfaction from either the defendant or the husband when you tried to contact them. Put your hand down.
They never call me, Your Honor.
Now, the next thing that you did was you really tried to find them.
Right.
And you hired a process server.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that you?
It's him over here.
Would you stand up, please?
He's a molester.
It's all very easy. You do the wrong thing happens, you do the wrong thing, you get skunked sometimes at the end, sometimes you come out scot-free. This is somebody who, instead of just letting it go and fixing whatever the mirror it was, he went to the expense of hiring a process server because you did the wrong thing.
Not true.
The right thing, oh yeah, the wrong thing. That didn't make sense what you said in your answer. Didn't make sense. Call my husband. He'll give you the name of somebody to do something cheap when you don't know this man from a hole in the wall. Here's my phone number. Don't take down anything else. I don't have my insurance. I don't have anything else.
I do have insurance, and I did have my insurance
So
at
why
the
didn't
time.
you give it to him?
Because I never hit his car.
Just a second.
If I would have hit his car, he would have had my insurance, and it would have been already taken care of because I make way enough money to pay for a mirror or anything else. But there was no damage there.
Let's find out what the
There was nothing.
Let's find out what the process
He's a
server had to say.
molester. He touched my breast, grabbed me like this with
Yes.
my
No,
name
I
that said
didn't.
Brittany
And I
with
was
my
2
husband in
seconds
the
of-
car,
I was
and
2
he almost
seconds of
got his
getting
ass
home.
beat. He is a
Straight up.
molester, and he needs to work in my face over this fake claim. Nobody makes that much damage on a vehicle from that silly picture with a mirror. If your car goes into a parking lot and you hit a door, it's a dent. It's not a scratch. It's not you lose a mirror. That's common sense. You pull into a parking spot and you park. At lunchtime, you open your door, it hits a car, then it would make a dent. It would not key up an entire car and you break your own mirror off to make a fake claim. I'm not getting into it with the grown man over a fake claim. I was just trying to help him. He called me 500 times. He harassed my family. He harassed my kids, and he grabbed my breast. He grabbed my breast in my car and threw paperwork in my face, scratching my lip. So he is a molester.
Wow.
Sure.
And to have to even stand next to this man, there should be police here because he's a bad person. This case is fake. He made this all up.
I'm letting you talk yourself out.
On February 28th, I pulled into a parking lot at Walmart. I pulled into the car beside him. This man is standing outside of his car. He was not looking at a receipt. Who sits in the parking lot at 6 minutes at Walmart to look at a receipt? He's standing there. He has obvious damage on the side of his car, and I feel sorry for this man. So I take the time out of my lunch with my name and everything on my uniform, and I represent my company. I had to stay there and talk to this man. I had him to shop and everything. If I really did this, the man would have came into Walmart and found me. He would have definitely found me. He would have got my information. We would have moved forward. A freaking pin stopped your whole thing. Nowadays, we don't need pins. We have cell phones, so this is a lie. This makes no sense. I'm standing here in this courtroom for no reason because this man has harassed my family. This guy, that's why I'm countersuing, because this man came to my house 6 times, talked to my kids, refused information, did not leave a business card, did not do anything. Then he found me in my parking lot, flips around in the middle of the street with my kids in the car, asked me to roll down my window, and I did it because I'm like, who is this guy standing at my door? He pulls it down. You are Brittany. Pulls my breast in front of my kids, with my husband in the car.
Do me a favor. Don't repeat yourself. I'm listening to your tirade.
This is exactly what happened.
I just want to let me know when you're finished.
I'm angry.
Just a second. Let me know when you're finished.
I'm not finished because this is a lie.
Keep going.
This is a complete lie because nobody scratches a vehicle. If you're in a parking lot, the parking spots are this big.
Miss Warner.
Who can scratch up a whole entire vehicle? I'm in an SUV. This guy's in a little car. I felt sorry for him.
I told you to stop now. I let you get it out of your system, but I'm not going to listen to it about your breast at least twice.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Anybody else would have been in jail.
Do you understand me? I heard about your breast at least twice. So if you have nothing...
He deserves to hear about my breast 3 times.
And I want to tell you something. I've heard about it as much as I'm going to. Can I see the pictures of the damage to your car?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you can see the pictures of no damage to mine.
I don't care about your car.
Look at that car. If you key up a vehicle, your whole car is damaged and you pay thousands to get it fixed. The worst part of my car is it's dirty.
Now, may I please see the estimate to have your car fixed? What is your last name, sir?
Jacobs.
Mr. Jacobs. I'm going to put you out. Do you understand? I'm going to put you out.
I don't even like being in the same room with this man.
Fine. Your counterclaim's dismissed with prejudice. You can step out. Your counterclaim's dismissed with prejudice. You can step out. Out!
Good luck molesting people.
Wow.
Perfect. Just the way I like to do a case.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Walked up to her, said, Brittany, I have some paperwork for you. And she said, my name's not Brittany. And I said, yes, it is. It's on your shirt. And I slid it through about a 2-inch crack on the window. So her window was only opened about that far, so.
So did you answer the phone?
She did.
And what did you tell her?
I said, there's a lot of things wrong with this vehicle. That's not what I was looking for. I'm going to bring the car back, and I want the $1,100 back.
So what did you say?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Ignacio Olivas says Brittany Hill Warner owes for damaging his vehicle when her car door flew open and hit his car.
How did you know Mr. Olivas?
I just met him recently. We were doing a serve for him.
You doing a what?
We were doing a serve.
On this case?
On this case.
So you never knew him before?
No.
So you were trying to serve a summons on that defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he pay you for your service?
He paid our company, yes.
How much did Mr. Olivas pay you for your service?
I believe it was around $49.
And you had the defendant's address?
Yes, I actually have our statement of our attempts for the serve.
May I see it, please? You had her address?
Yes.
How many times did you attempt to serve her at her address?
One of our other servers attempted twice, and that was my second time.
Had you ever seen anybody at the house?
The first time that I went,
Yes, just you.
Yes,
Who
her
did
husband.
you see? Age and discretion at the house in your jurisdiction. Why didn't you leave it with her husband?
He denied that she lived there, and we didn't know if it was her husband or not for sure until I pointed out a picture.
Just a second. What exactly did he say to you?
He said another gentleman had already came and asked for her, and he had told her that she did not live there.
Did you attempt to serve her at her place of business?
No, we did not have a...
Only her house?
Yes.
Did you finally locate her?
I was leaving the parking lot, and she was pulling in.
Leaving what parking lot?
The parking lot where she lives. She was pulling in. She pulled into a parking spot. I came around, pulled up behind her, walked up to her, said, "Brittany, I have some paperwork for you." And she said, "My name's not Brittany." And I said, "Yes, it is. It's on your shirt." And I slid it through about a 2-inch crack on the window. So her window is only opened about that far, so...
Oh, I'm so glad it got quiet in here. Judging for the plaintiff in the amount of $26.91. Thank you very much. We're finished.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm 100% satisfied because she knows when somebody's lying. She knows when somebody is telling the truth and everything. And to myself, I don't think I'm a liar. I don't think he's a liar. I don't think he's a molester either. You have to do the right thing and come to see Judge Judy because she's the best in the United States.
And now the
Fagan versus Foy. Step forward.
Alita Shady Fagan is suing Talisha Foy for a refund for a car she sold her that turned out to have issues.
Miss Foy, do you have the title to this car?
No, ma'am. She has it.
When did you give it to her?
I left it in the car when she had came to get it.
Well, the car is back at your house, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So the car is in your house. You have the title.
She took the title out of the car.
Did you?
Ma'am.
The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that's answered my question.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Defendant said to you, "I don't know who you are. I'm not giving you my car without some collateral." So you gave her the $1,100 in cash.
I did.
And what did you do after you got the $1,100 and she took off with the car?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Alita Shady Fagan says Talisha Foy owes her a refund for a car with issues.
You were looking for a used car. You found it online. You contacted the defendant. You went to her house in May of this year. You'd never met her before. You looked at the car. According to you, she told you there were some issues with the car. Had you discussed a purchase price?
Yes.
And what was the purchase price?
$1,100.
According to you, you wanted to ice the deal, and you said to the defendant that you wanted to take the car to your mechanic. Defendant, according to your complaint, said to you, "I don't know who you are. I'm not giving you my car without some collateral." So you gave her the $1,100 in cash.
I did.
And where did you take the car?
I took it to NTB in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
To inspect it?
I told them I got a car. I said, "Can you look this over for me?"
And about what time did you get there?
I want to say around 3:30 in the afternoon, 3:45.
Okay, so it was shortly after you left her.
I drove straight there.
And they examined the car, and according to you, it needed a lot of work. You called her. What time did you call her?
I want to say around 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Where did you call her from?
From NTB.
From the mechanic?
Yes.
Did she answer the phone?
She did.
And what did you tell her?
I said, "I'm here. I just got the printout. There's a lot of things wrong with this vehicle. There's over $4,000 worth of repairs. That's not what I was looking for. I'm going to bring the car back, and I want the $1,100 back."
And she said?
She kind of hesitated. She said, "Okay, all right, but I'm not home right now. I can call you when I get home." And I said, "Okay."
Where did you go?
I was at my mom's house, but she did not.
Shh. Did she call you from the mechanic?
No, ma'am.
When did she call you?
She called me around, I think, like 8 that night from her cell phone.
Well, the same day that she had made this transaction with you about 3:30 in the afternoon.
The transaction was around 1 or 1:30.
And what did you do after you got the $1,100 and she took off with the car? What did you do?
Nothing. I was at home all day till I went to my mother's house.
And
which
what did you
stayed
do?
A couple of doors down from me.
And you still had the $1,100?
Yes, ma'am.
She called you and she said, "I want to return this car. It's got a lot of damage on it." So what did you say?
I told her she already took the car. She wasn't getting her money back.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Did she tell you that she wanted to take the car to a mechanic?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So now you have the car, right? But
Yes,
you
ma'am.
don't have the title.
No, ma'am.
She has the title. How are you driving the car without the title?
I'm not driving the car.
Who is?
Nobody is parked in the yard where she left it at.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Can I have the title to the car?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
Your Honor, if I may. What? I may have been a little off with the time in the beginning. However, I called her at 6, like I said, because I called her on 3 occasions when she did not call me back and she didn't pick up. So I sent the text messages. Actually,
I'd like to
times.
see. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,100. Don't touch the car. I actually think that you're a scammer. I actually think that she told you, based upon what I read, that she wanted to have the car checked out. And you told me that you still had the money. You told her, don't bother coming here, I don't have the money. Business is business. That's what you told her. So I actually think that your answers to me and your answers were disingenuous. You understand? I just want you to know what I think about you. We're done.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Oh, well, of course I'm happy about it. I agree.
I'm fine with it.
I knew she would see, right through it.
I told her some problems were wrong with it.
Was prepared that it was as is, but she did not disclose.
Check engine light was on.
Everything that was wrong with the car.
Because I'm not a scammer.
And she tried to get me for $1,100.
Did she bill?
A web designer and client weren't clicking.
It was not published on the internet, period, in
yes,
discussion.
it was published on the internet. You just needed a password.
You're fighting with each other. I'm going to throw you both out.
And it's not her first reboot.
Did you have another developer prior to hiring the defendant?
I've had several developers.
Right.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Real estate broker Constance Kelly is suing graphic designer Eleanor Phillips for a refund for a business website.
Order. All rise. It's case number 102 on the calendar in the matter of Kelly versus Phillips.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Miss Kelly, you hired the defendant to do a website for you. You are a real estate broker. When did you get your license?
I was licensed in 2016.
And did you work for someone else?
I was at another brokerage, yes, before I got my own broker's license and launched my own company.
Which was when?
I launched my brokerage in August of 2018.
And what's the name of that company?
CKRE Idaho.
Bert, do you have an iPad or some device there?
Yeah.
What's the website?
.com.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to look at it. Okay, and when did this website go up?
That website went up about a month ago.
Prior to that, did you have a website? That's a yes or no?
No.
When did you hire the defendant to build a website for you?
The beginning of January.
Of 2019. How much was she charging you to build that website?
$3,600.
And you gave her a deposit?
Yes, ma'am.
Of $1,800?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's what you want back?
Correct.
Did she build a website for you?
No, ma'am.
Did you build a website for her?
Yes, I did.
Can you show me what you did?
Yes, I can. These were all the pages before the website was taken down. There is some content that is not exactly finished in there because it was not completed.
Would you take a look and tell me if this is a fair and accurate representation of the work that the defendant did and that was up?
So, Your Honor, these are what we call mock-ups. This was never published to my website.
That is wrong.
Just a second. Is what you're telling me that those were never on the internet?
No, ma'am.
That those pages you never used?
Correct.
Okay. When?
I believe that was the day that our dispute happened, which was February 7th.
Now, the dispute occurred because the website was not built so that it could accommodate MLS listings?
Yes, ma'am, you're correct.
Do you have MLS capability now?
I haven't.
That's either a yes or a no.
No.
And the website is up because he just found it.
It's a placeholder while the new website is being developed.
And you do understand that there is now a fee for using MLS services?
No, not for me. Because I'm not a vendor. I don't provide that as a web developer.
Is what you're telling, because this is all about the MLS and whether or not you get your deposit back. So far, she did work. I see she did work, and I don't believe you that it wasn't up on the internet, by the way. I don't believe that. I believe that that's where she got the pictures from.
It was not on the internet, Judge Judy.
Yes, it was, and I even have an email where I sent her her username and password so she could view.
May I see it?
Yes. It's right here. It wasn't ready to be viewed publicly.
She just said the key words, Your Honor. It wasn't ready to be viewed publicly. It was not published on the internet, period.
But yes, it was published on the internet. You just needed a password.
You're fighting with each other. I'm going to throw you both out because I don't have to listen to this. I'm reading something.
Mail from Miss Phillips over here saying that she has no problem refunding me my money.
Just a second. I'm reading something. Did you have somebody developing a website for you prior to the defendant?
I had another local...
That's either a yes or a no.
No.
Well, that's not what it says here.
I'm not clear on your question, Your Honor.
My question is very clear. I speak English. I said, did you have another developer prior to hiring the defendant?
I've had several developers.
Right. So the answer is yes. How many?
I would say that I've had 4 websites in the last 4 years. As my company, my business has grown and expanded, the demands of my website have also grown and expanded.
No, that's not what this says. Okay, now you say you have a voice message from her.
Yes, ma'am.
Where she says she is going to refund the deposit that you gave her, which she's opposing in this proceeding. She said she did a lot of work on the website, and she put in hours worth of work.
She didn't. She put up a simple template.
I'm speaking. She said she put in work on your website, and she deserves to be compensated for that. If you went someplace else, that's up to you. So now I'd like to hear the voicemail.
How to respond to that. If you feel so strongly that I will refund your money, and I have no problem doing that because that's the type of person that I am.
If you can tell that I'm taking a breath because she clipped that voicemail, she's not playing the full voicemail in context.
I can play the full voicemail if you'd like, Your Honor.
I would.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to clip audio.
You obviously just did.
Just, if you talk to each other, I'm just going to throw you both out.
Sorry.
Do you understand?
I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hi, Constance. This is Elle. I just received your...
No, Your Honor, this is 2.5 minutes. Do you want to listen to the full entirety?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Constance. This is Elle. I just received your email, and I'm a little disappointed, but I just want to get some clarification. First of all, I've spent over 22 hours literally working until midnight trying to get your website complete and ready to go. I just want to express that to you because I have put a lot of time into the site to where it is now. And that does not include phone calls and getting you set up on GoDaddy and making sure that all of that is set up on your end. So I guess my disappointment at this point runs with that you want to pay me $350 for over 22 hours of work. And I'm not really sure onto that. If you feel so strongly that I haven't done anything for you, then I will refund your money. And I have no problem doing that because that's the type of person that I am. But I also want to let you know that if you don't pay me, or at least let me keep the deposit for the work that I have put in, I can't make your site live because I have put in significant...
No. Because I have.
I am. But I also want to let you know that if you don't pay me, or at least let me keep the deposit for the work that I have put in, I can't make your site live because I have put in a significant amount of time. I just told you that I was willing to make your site live and get that up and going and eat the rest of any other costs that I would have charged in order to get the IDX up and running. I never told you that I had IDX capabilities. I was depending on you for that. It was my assumption that as a realtor, you had access to the MLS. I have mentioned it a couple times that the only requirement that I needed in order to get the MLS working on your website was to use at the same time that you're not willing to pay $150 a quarter for that password access. And if you want me to sign up as a vendor and I'll pay $150 a quarter, I will agree to that, but I'm only going to agree to it for 1 year. So I think that's where we're landing, is that I really have put a lot of time into this. So if you could please give me a call back so we can at least talk this out, I would really appreciate it. You can record the phone calls. That is totally fine with me. But I need you to understand that I have put a...
That's it, Your Honor.
She was being most reasonable with you, Ms. Kelly.
I understand.
She was being most reasonable with you. She said, I will keep the deposit. You don't have to pay me anything else. I will get your website up and running. We both found out at the same time that there is a fee for MLS of $150 a quarter. I will pay that for the first year, which means she was willing to pay $600 in order to, that's what she says in there. I mean, you were giving me that one clip where it says, I will give you back your money.
I was trying not to waste your time, Your Honor.
Your case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it was a very fair and just decision. I was willing to just bend over backward for her, and she just didn't care.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Knudsen versus Beckwith, step forward.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knudsen is suing her former employee, Julie Beckwith, for soliciting clients away from her cleaning company in Hawaii.
This is a contract case. Ms. Knudsen, you hired the defendant as an employee with your home cleaning service.
Yes.
What month did you hire her?
That was July of 2018.
And she worked for you until when?
Till April 30th, 2019.
And where was that business?
In Honolulu, Hawaii.
And where did you live?
I lived in Utah at the time.
Had you lived in Hawaii?
Yeah, I was there for 8 years.
So you were running your business long distance?
Yes.
How many employees did you have?
It fluctuated anywhere from 1 to 3.
Did you do home cleaning when you lived there?
I did, yes.
And you had a certain number of clients?
Yes.
So those clients that you had, you turned over to some people first. They didn't work out, and then you hired the defendant to do the same work that you were doing.
Yes, exactly.
Now, you had a contract with her.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take a look at it.
Okay.
So what you have with her that has a non-interference clause with your business, and it reads, the client list, client information, and client contact information are the property of 808 Cleaning, that's your company, and the employee may not use, service, or solicit said clients outside of the administration of 808 Cleaning. The employee and the employer agree not to publicly defame the other party in the event of termination. Okay, so what happened was she worked for you for about 8 months, and then went out on her own, and I don't know how many, but many of the clients that she was servicing followed her to her new place.
Right.
And so you're suing her for breach of contract.
Yes, but also, I mean, she was very dishonest. She told me she was leaving to start a vacation rental.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How many of her clients came with you? 3. 3. And 19 or 20 stayed with you?
Yes, that's correct.
And 3 decided to go with her?
That I know of. Those are the only ones that have proof.
Well, that's all that counts here. We're in a court.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knudsen says former employee Julie Beckwith. Julie is countersuing for unpaid work hours.
Okay, you really have to understand, it's not as if you were the CEO of a large company. You had a personal business. You were moving, and what you did was you hired somebody else to clean, and you took a cut of whatever they... Half, whatever it is. You took half, and in exchange for that, you got the clients, and you got half. That's what the deal was. And the question is, how many of your clients stayed with you?
About 19 or 20. The total of everything she took added up to about $17,000 a year that she took from my business.
You see, you have a contract, but an unsympathetic position.
She was still working for me when she was telling them about her new business.
Well, you don't know that. You don't have a witness here to tell you.
I do know that. I have text messages.
Oh, I'd like to see.
Okay.
If you have text messages that while she was still working for you, she was soliciting these clients to come to work for her, your case is rock solid.
I have a witness also.
Great. You may have, but how many of her clients came with you? A number?
A few.
Not a number.
3.
3. And 19 or 20 stayed with you?
Yes, that's correct.
And 3 decided to go with her?
That I know of. Those are the only ones that have proof.
Well, that's all that counts here. We're in a court.
Right.
You understand you're in an unsympathetic position for me. Clients she took from you while she was working for you. She's not allowed to do that. And that's not what she said she did.
She admitted that she did it, Your Honor.
You said you had text messages. I'd like to see it.
Got a little scrambled. This is the one from actually the client here, Adrian.
I'd like to see it. When did you terminate your business? April 30th?
I gave her a 2-week notice on April 16th, and
4/16.
my last day was the April 30th.
It's dated May 1st.
Yes.
After she left your employment.
However, if you...
I'm going to read it. Okay. It's dated May 1st after she left your employment.
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay. This is a very easy... She says, hello, Heidi. I assume that's your first name. She said, I sent this to you on Monday. This is Wednesday. I understand that Julie, so 2 days before she left, but she had given you notice, I understand that Julie is leaving, and we will be getting a new person with your company. So she told them clearly that she was leaving, and a new person would be coming from your company. That's not unreasonable. So far she didn't break anything. She said, goodbye, I will not be coming back. You'll be getting a new person from the company. I'd really like to stay with Julie, as she has come to know our home, a dog, and us so well. I hope you understand, and thank you for introducing us. Please services with your company effective this week. Again, thank you for supporting our housekeeping needs, and I wish you much success in the future. That's you.
Correct.
What's wrong with that?
It shows that she was telling everybody about her new cleaning business prior to when she was
No. That's not what this says at all.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I live in Hawaii, and you live in Utah, and I don't want you to pick somebody out because I could pick some stranger out to come and clean my house. I mean, don't you understand the logistics of it?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knudsen says former employee Julie Beckwith solicited clients away from her business. Julie is countersuing for unpaid work hours.
Okay, I still haven't heard that she breached the contract.
She's servicing the clients that were on my client list.
She could service them. She's not allowed to solicit them. It's a free country. They can say, I don't want you to be my cleaning service anymore. I live in Hawaii, and you live in Utah, and I don't want you to pick somebody out because I could pick some stranger out to come and clean my house. I mean, don't you understand the logistics of it? Are you licensed and bonded?
I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Last name?
Stofko.
You live in Hawaii?
Correct.
How long had the plaintiff been servicing your home?
I would say it's been at least a year, if not more.
Was the plaintiff the person who came?
No. There was maybe 2 to 3 different people before Julie began cleaning.
And I would like you to tell me the conversation you had with her in April. Must have been in April, sometime in April.
I travel for work quite frequently, so it's often that I need to coordinate the time that someone will be coming to the home. And in case I'm not there, my husband would need to let them in. And so I had asked her what time next week would she be coming, and she let me know at that point she would not be coming anymore because she put in her 2 weeks notice.
And what did you say to her?
I asked her, are you moving off the island? Where are you going? And she responded and let me know that she was starting her own company. And to that, I asked her if she would be willing to continue cleaning for us because, again, we really had grown to trust her. I leave the house sometimes when she's cleaning. And because we had kind of several different folks and we finally had someone consistent that we trusted, I asked her if she'd be willing to continue servicing our home with her new business.
Okay, well, that is somewhat different, actually, than what you wrote in this text. That's a solicitation. That's not saying to come and service you. And, of course, you can have a conversation with her. You can say, can I have your contact information? You probably already had her contact information, so you were free to call her. But what you just testified to is that she said to you, I'm leaving, I'm starting my own company, and that you're not allowed to do, Ms. Beckwith.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
How many clients do you have? 3 that you took from her? How many clients do you have altogether now?
I have about 7.
Okay. How much do you pay her?
I pay her once a week. It's $130, and depending upon if there's extras, it can go up to $170 a week.
And a reasonable period of time for a non-compete, I would say, well, it's not in here, is a year. And in a year, you pay her at least $5,000 if you're paying her $130 a week.
Correct.
Sometimes more. Well, my limit is $5,000, and that's what you're entitled to. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Thank you.
Thank you. What about my countersuit?
For?
Overtime hours. She hired me as an employee.
Goodbye.
And paid me as a contractor.
Please excuse me, step up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I didn't steal her clients. Her clients decided to not continue with her and to go with me.
I couldn't be happier.
So I didn't ask them to follow me. They said that they wanted to do that.
She knew she was being dishonest.
Ready to be done, move on.
I thought it was going the other way, and I'm stoked.
One of your children ran into some financial difficulty.
Exes agreed to help clean up their son's mess.
You and your son had a falling out, and you changed your mind about paying.
Right.
Now Dad gets nothing but dirty looks.
I was not notified.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that. There's no question. You knew that they had had a major blow-up. Don't look at him.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Janet King is suing her ex-husband, Paul King, for breaching their agreement to help their son pay his rent.
Order. All rise. It's case number 4 on the calendar in the matter of King versus King.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss King, you were over 20 years.
Yes.
And you have grown children.
Yes.
One of your children ran into some financial difficulty.
Yes.
I gather that's not an unusual occurrence for this particular child.
He got hurt at work and was on disability, and yeah.
And is he married?
He is.
And his wife is pregnant?
She is.
They were unable to pay their rent.
Exactly.
And some bills. So you contacted, according to what I read, you contacted your ex-husband.
Ryan contacted my mom and asked my mom for help.
Okay, this is your son?
Yes.
That's your mother?
Yes.
So, to speed things up, he asked your mom for help. Your mom called you?
Called Paul.
Called his father?
His dad, yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
So your former mother-in-law called you and said, what's your son's name?
Ryan.
Ryan is in some difficulty.
Yes.
On what date was that? Do you remember, Mr. King?
It's close to these text messages. I believe it was like maybe Thursday, the 11th of April.
Do you remember what date it was that you called?
My daughter just reminded me it was the 12th.
Friday.
Okay. And what did you say when your former mother-in-law called you?
Well, she originally suggested splitting it 4 ways between my mom and me and Janet and her.
How much?
$1,700. I think half of it was $877, according to Janet's record. So.
Okay. So your former mother-in-law wanted you to come up with $877, either between you and your mother. She was going to kick in some money with her daughter, I assume. And that was on the 12th.
Correct.
And what did you tell her?
I kind of reluctantly agreed.
Did you agree on the 12th, is my question.
I did.
And then what happened, Mr. King?
Following that, I can't remember exactly how this transpired, but there was a text string that started.
Do you have that?
Yes.
I'd like to take a look at it. Because this is what it is alleged. It is alleged that based upon your agreement to pay the $877, your former wife paid the whole amount of rent, and then it is alleged that you and your son had a falling out and you changed your mind about paying.
Right.
So the whole issue is whether or not your former wife, Mrs. King, paid your son's rent before or after you advised her that you changed your mind? Because you understand, once you have an agreement with her and she acts on that agreement, then you're bound.
Correct.
But if she had not acted on that agreement and paid the money and changed your mind, she had an opportunity to back out and say, I'm just going to give you $877. Do you understand?
Yes.
Great.
Sorry for some of the language in there.
I'm not looking for the emails. You had an argument with your son on the same date, Friday, April 12th. That's what this says, at 5:45 in the p.m. is when the email chain started with your son.
There should be a text message in there to Janet saying, you guys are on your own, I'm not going to pay into it.
Okay. Well, was this to Janet?
Yes.
And this says, you and your mom. How do I know this was to Janet? It says, you and your mom will have to figure out what you're going to do or not do for Ryan.
Does it show?
Oh, you and your mom.
Right.
I got you and your, this is to Janet.
Right.
You and your mom.
Right.
Are going to have to figure out what you're going to do or not do for Ryan. I'm not doing any more, I'm out. So this was at 6:44 in the p.m. on Friday, April 12th.
Correct.
Okay. Now, Miss King,
yes,
what you have to do is show me the date and time that you transferred the money from you and your mother to your son. Transfer the money between you, your mother, and your son. And if you don't have that, you have no case.
The money from the bank?
Yes.
Well,
unless what you're telling me is that you transfer the money to your son.
No, I didn't.
After or before you received your former husband's text.
I never received a text saying that he was out. Never once, because I was blocked. As soon as this all happened, he blocked my phone, he blocked Ryan's phone, and he blocked my mom's phone.
Not before he sent this. Listen to me.
I don't have that because it didn't go through. Ryan paid it on with my debit card on a app, renter's app.
Just show
I don't
everybody.
Have that.
Just a second.
Okay.
What you're going to have to do is everybody keeps records, everybody, of the date and the time of a transfer, including apps.
I have. There it is, and if she could just slide like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bert, I'm not touching it. Do you understand that I'm not touching it? Well,
it has the date, but it does not show the time.
Could you scroll over there?
That's the second page.
Oh, the check.
I'm sorry.
Just a second. It was returned for insufficient funds with a check charge of $25. Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay. And that was done on April the 18th?
Yes.
Don't move with that thing. So now the check was returned on April 18th, and your son did not get the money on the 18th.
True.
Is that correct?
Correct.
And the money was resent somehow.
Correct.
But you had already been notified on the 12th that your former husband, yes, you were.
I was not notified.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that. Let's start out with that. You were notified. Either he has a text, but you were either notified by your son, by your mother. Between the 12th and the 18th, there isn't a question in my mind that you were notified that your former husband was not, don't look at him, was not going to contribute towards this rent. There's no question in my mind about this. You were in discussion with your son because your son must have called you and said to you, your check bounced at some point on the 18th. Well, if your check bounced, then you had to have some sort of a discussion with him, which was, I had a big fight with my father. He blocked me from his phone.
But that didn't happen. Ryan did not have a conversation with his dad. I mean, his dad blocked me and blocked him and blocked my mother's phone.
That would have...
He never sent me that text,
Mrs. King,
and he never
Mrs.
told
King,
me.
Miss King.
Paul, you're going to tell her that you blocked me and you did not get that
just a
text?
second.
He's lying. Is it funny?
There is no question in my mind that he blocked you, he blocked your son, and he blocked your mother. There's no question in your mind that that happened. There's also no question in your mind that you knew by the 18th, when your check was returned for insufficient funds, that your former husband, you knew by the 18th, when you reissued the check, if you ever did your mother reissue a check?
Yes, ma'am.
On what date?
The 18th.
There's no question between the 12th and the 18th, you knew that they had had a major blow-up. Is that a fair statement?
Correct.
That's a fair statement.
Correct.
The same
Don't
day.
don't speak to him. Listen, don't speak to him. Stand up. Did your father ever co-sign for a car for you?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I don't know the exact date. It
Give
was
me a
probably
year.
2 years ago.
Give me a year.
2 years ago.
How old are you? Did your father to co-sign for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. And when he co-signed for you, that meant that you were going to pay for the car.
Correct.
He was just co-signing because you had bad credit.
Correct.
Did you end up paying for the car?
He paid.
Oh, just a second. That's either a yes or a no.
I made payments on the car, correct.
No. Did you pay for the car?
I made payments for the car.
Who else made payments for the car?
He made a large payment.
And how much was a large payment?
Without my knowledge, he made this payment. I don't know what the total of the payment was. I don't know what the total of the payment was.
Well, you had to have owed a lot of money.
It was
just a second.
Okay.
Let's play.
Yep.
Not yup. That's a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You had to have owed a lot of money on the car for your father to have made a large payment. And if what you're telling me is I don't know how much it is, then you're more irresponsible than your mother thinks you are.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
You're 34 years old.
Yeah.
You have a child on the way?
Yes, ma'am.
You have any more children?
No.
Just one?
Yes, ma'am.
On the way. So you're responsible enough to have a child. Then you should be responsible enough to know how much your father paid off on a car that he just co-signed for because you had bad credit.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He just did it because you would be without a car, and he would be without credit.
The car was not in risk of
telling me?
That's the way it seemed to me.
Well, then he's a really nice guy.
And later today,
I yanked the little dog out of its mouth, and she kind of fell back down, and he decided to eat her up some more. And so I finally yanked her up, and she flew into my arms.
Miss Urell, it's not what you say in your complaint.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Janet King says ex-husband Paul King reached their agreement to help their son pay his rent during a time of need.
Now, how much was a large payment? How much?
$7,000.
So your father paid off $7,000, and he paid off $7,000 in about what year?
2018.
Is that because you asked him?
No.
He just did it because you would be without a car, and he would be without credit.
The car was not in risk of being taken away.
Well, then he just made you a gift? Is that what you're telling me?
That's the way it seemed to me, yes, ma'am.
Well, then he's a really nice guy.
I would not argue that.
Just a second, that he's a really nice guy.
Not
he paid
arguing.
off $7,000 to his 33-year-old son of a car that you were supposed to pay off. Then it sounds like he's a really nice guy.
Not arguing that.
Great. I'm glad you're not arguing that. Now you can sit down. Just want to let you know I'm not sympathetic. Your case is dismissed.
You may step out. I hope everybody's happy.
He did not send me a text message saying he was not going to pay.
Just got to evaluate things as they come along.
He's a liar, and I have nothing to say to him.
I love him. I only wish the best for him.
I will not ever go and ask him anything in the future.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Urell versus Davis. Step forward.
Marlene Urell is suing William Davis for vet bills and punitive damages after his unleashed dog attacked her Pomeranian.
Miss Urell, I don't know exactly what you're suing for. It's your claim that the defendant's dog bit your dog. You took the dog to the vet. The vet said your dog required certain treatment. You didn't have the money for the treatment. There was some sort of an arrangement reached with the vet that if you surrendered the dog would be treated as a rescue, which is how you got the dog, as a rescue, and that they would do the surgery. Before I even get to the substantive part of who initiated this biting, did you pay any vet bill?
Yes, I did.
I'd like to see what you paid and proof that you paid it.
May I approach? Sure.
No, give it to Bird.
Thank you.
What was the date of this alleged incident with the defendant's dog?
It was February 9th, 2019, at about 4:40 p.m.
Okay. So the first time you took the dog to the vet was 2 days later.
Yes.
This says that on the 11th, the dog was euthanized.
I took the dog to the veterinarian.
No, I'm just reading you what it says.
Yes.
And they charged $125 for that. And then it says refund Visa or MasterCard.
Yes.
Explain that to me.
The veterinarian, I took her into the veterinarian after she had survived the dog attack, but she was not walking. I took her to the veterinarian, and they said...
Don't tell me what they said.
Okay.
Just tell me what this is. Was the dog euthanized or not?
No, the dog was not euthanized.
Then this was reversed, so you didn't pay this.
Correct. I was refunded $125.
I only want you to tell me what you paid to the vet.
There was $88. It's on there. And there was also a $3 body disposal fee, which I was not refunded. But I was refunded the $125 because I couldn't, So I paid for body disposal, but I was refunded $125 euthanasia.
I want you to show me from your Visa bill how much you actually paid the vet. I asked you, how much did you pay the vet? You sent me up these 2 bills. That's not true. You didn't pay the vet this money because it was refunded.
There should be 2 pages there.
I have 2 pages.
Okay.
You gave me both pages of money that you say you paid.
So the first...
And the first one you didn't pay because the dog wasn't euthanized.
I did pay it, but they refunded it to me. That's why it says
All I want to know is, from you, how much you paid the vet.
I paid the vet $91.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
February 9th, I took Spitzy outside. We were in a common area of my complex, sitting on a bench, not standing outside, not looking at the rain. You and your dog were, according to you, was sitting on a bench.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Marlene Urell says William Davis's unleashed dog attacked and mauled her Pomeranian.
Now, I'm ready to hear the story.
Okay, on February 9th, 2019, which was a Saturday, it had finally stopped raining where I live, and so my dog wanted to go for a walk.
Just tell me,
okay.
Your dog wanted to go out for a walk. You had gotten the dog a year before as a rescue, correct?
Correct.
And you took the dog out, and?
And we stood in front of my place about 6 feet from the stairs, and she was about 5 feet in front of me. When we were just standing there, you know, she didn't want to walk. She just wanted to enjoy, no rain, and I did too, and we were just standing there. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a flash of yellow scrabbling and crawling at the floor, and the next thing I knew, I didn't even see what happened. There was this dog, a yellow lab mix, and it was eating my little dog. And my little dog turned up and looked at me, and her little face was turned down so horribly. And I didn't even know what to do. I didn't even know what was going on in this place where there is never anyone about or anything. And I was all completely alone until then. And I started to scream and scream and scream. And I guess the dog just kind of looked at me, and then I yanked the little dog out of its mouth, and she kind of fell back down, and he decided to eat her up some more, so he was chewing her belly, and so I finally yanked her up, and she flew into my arms.
Okay,
and
it's not what you say. Miss Urell told me is not what you swore to in your complaint. I'm just telling you that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, February 9th, I took Spitzy outside. We were in a common area of my complex, sitting on a bench. That's the first paragraph of what you told me. Not standing outside, not looking around, not looking at the rain. You and your dog were, according to you, sitting outside in a common area. You were sitting on a bench.
You know what? Sometimes I would sit there, you know, with the dog, but I kind of thank God that I was not sitting there that day.
You want to tell me your version of what happened, Mr. Davis?
Yes, Your Honor. There is no bench in that common area, for the record. So what happened was her dog and she were there in the common area. I was around the corner playing with my dog. Her dog was barking, so my dog runs around the corner. I recall her, call her, she didn't come back. So.
I want you, don't speak.
So I ran after my dog and come around to her dog biting my dog and my dog retaliating. And basically, it's an 80-pound lab and a 10-pound Pomeranian. Didn't go very well for the little dog, and it's not good. So that's what happened.
Yeah, you have to pay a vet bill.
Yes, I will gladly pay her vet bill.
Which she paid $91 for.
Yep.
You have to pay not $5,000, which is what she wants, but you pay bill?
On numerous occasions.
And what did she say when you offered to pay a vet bill?
She said I owe her more than the $91 I owe her for her adoption fees and her vaccination costs.
$91. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I'm still amazed that people can lie in court and get away with it.
She has a history of suing people in our complex. This is what she does.
She would do bear dances. She would stand up and dance.
She didn't take the dog to the vet till almost 2 or 3 days later.
She would say things like, go out, love you.
Thankfully, the rescue adopted the dog, paid for the surgery, and somebody else owns it now.
I know for a fact, though, I paid her.
Facts are right here. I can show you the facts.
Her pushy friend couldn't wait to repossess a car.
You didn't pay for periods of time, according to this.
I was late sometimes.
All the time. I'm just trying to help you.
Don't help me.
But you can only push so far.
Something wrong with you. I mean, are you trying to make the person who has to decide this case dislike you?
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Nicole Martinez for the return or value of a Kia Soul and her personal belongings.
Order. All rise. This is case number 92 on the calendar in the matter of Caso versus Martinez.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Ms. Caso, you and the defendant were good friends for many years. According to your complaint, in 2016, Ms. Martinez bought another car. She had a car on which there was a loan. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You made an agreement with her in 2016, according to you, to take over payments on the car. You would pay for the car, pay for the insurance, and when the car was paid off, it would be yours.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the agreement?
No, ma'am.
That's baloney.
I'm sorry, but it's not. I have text messages. I have everything. I can show you what I have.
Okay, so what you're telling me is from 2016 to 2019, the plaintiff paid on the car, and she was just using it. After she finished paying off the car, she was going to give the car back
Originally,
to you.
it was...
She was going to give the car back to you. I'm getting your position. She paid on the car, and your position is that your agreement with her was that she was going to pay on the car and pay for the insurance, but when the car was paid off, she was going to give it back to you.
She couldn't even pay the payment. She never made...
That's not what I asked you.
And
what I asked you was...
I let her borrow the car.
That's your position, that you let her borrow the car.
I felt bad for her. She's my best friend. I've done a million things for her. I can name them.
Miss Martinez, I just asked you a question. My question to you was, that's what you want me to believe, that she took the car.
No, ma'am, that's the truth.
That she took the car, she paid for the car, and at the end, when the car was paid off, she was going to give it back to you.
She didn't even make the payment. She was constantly behind. She was 3 months behind when I took it away.
Can I see
3 months behind.
Can I see the title to the car? Where's the title to the car?
The title is in my glove compartment. That it's in the car that she has.
Can I see the title to the car?
It's not in the glove compartment. It's not there. I don't know what she did with it. I don't know if she stole it. I don't know what she did with it. The title is my name. The car's paid off. The loan is in my name. I'm not sure what else I need to show you.
I have text messages.
Just a second. It's very, very easy. The car was not in your possession from 2016. What month, Ms. Caso?
May.
May of 2016.
That's not true. September of 2016.
December. Shh. December of 2016.
September.
There's something wrong with you.
Probably.
I mean, are you trying to make the person who has to decide this case dislike you?
No, I would love for you to love me.
No, just a second. Is that what you're trying to do? You said to yourself, I'm going to make a case dislike me.
Your Honor.
Out. Out. You, out. Perfect. Was the car in your possession from December 2016 until March 23rd of 2019?
At times, yes, ma'am, it was.
Just a second. Tell me when that was. So far, I've May 2016 to March 2019. I would like you to tell me have a lot of papers there. In what period of time did you have physical possession of the car?
Multiple occasions.
No, that doesn't answer my question.
You want specific dates?
Yes, that's what I asked for. Specific dates when between December, she says May, say December of 2016 and March of 2019, you had possession of the car.
I don't have specific dates, Your Honor.
Okay. How much were the monthly payments?
$350 for the car and $100 for insurance.
Who were they made payable to?
I sent her the money.
How?
At first, it was deposit in her account or cash, and then as of October 10 is where I would send it through the Wells Fargo.
October of what year?
Oh, 2017.
May I see the proof of payments from October 2017?
Your Honor.
Well, what I see here, Ms. Casso, is that you made payments, but they weren't always the $350 a month.
No, I was.
You didn't pay for periods of time, according to this, and then you would make up payments, or you'd pay $100.
Yes, ma'am. I was late sometimes, yes.
All the time.
And
I'm just trying to help you.
No, don't help me.
Okay.
Don't help me.
I won't help you anymore.
Don't help me.
Yes, ma'am,
I've been
I'm sorry.
doing this for 50 years. I don't need any help.
I'm sorry.
So it looks as if you were inconsistent with your payments.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the total number of payments that you made equaled the total that you put down here, $5,545?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Right, so you had the car for 27 months, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's $7,000. And according to you, giving you credit for everything that you have here, you paid $5,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then you didn't pay what you were supposed to pay.
Could you repeat that?
You were supposed to pay $7,000, and you didn't.
From what date?
I'm giving you every benefit of the from before that. Before that, it would be even more months.
Yes. Well, there are some that are missing because I paid her cash or deposited her to her account.
No, that's not true.
I'm just going from these dates.
True at all.
From the date you said you started to pay her, by transferring it, you were supposed to pay her $7,000. You only paid her $5,000.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know either. And she took the car back.
Yes.
And you had the car for over 2 years, right? According to you, you had the car 2.5 years.
Yes.
And all you put into the car in the 2.5 years that you can prove is $5,500.
Yes, because I opened that account in May of 2017.
All I'm telling you is you drove a car.
That's
Consider
not
it
true
this
either.
way. You didn't make all the payments you were supposed to make, and she repossessed the car. So I want you to figure it this way. If you rented a car for 2.5 years, you would have paid more than $200 a month for a car.
I know for a fact, though, I paid her
You didn't-
everything that she needed.
No, but it's not true according to
Facts
this.
are right here. I can show you the facts. Sorry, I'm just trying to show you.
If it wasn't sent through there, then I gave it to her. I have text messages proving that
Then
she
I'd
said
like-
she would give me the
just a
title after I paid it off. We thought it was going to be paid off in May of 2018.
Again,
so
not
she
true.
sent me that it was going to be like 5 more payments. Said, give me $1,450 and I'll give you the title.
I'd like to see those text
I'd
messages.
like to see them, too.
I'd like to see the text messages. And that was in November of 2018. You transferred $1,450 to her. I'd like to see the text message to her. If she says, send me $1,450 and I'll send you the title. Then that makes it easy.
Your Honor, can I show you what I have that I actually paid?
No, not your turn yet. I'll tell you when it's your turn.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's in the papers I gave you.
Oh, well, you gave me more than I asked for.
Okay, so maybe they're in the back.
Sir, would you show this to the defendant, please? Her payment to you of $1,450 is reflected here 2 days later.
I agree.
Okay, and you told her you would give her the title to the car.
Right, I agree, but this does not say $1,450. This is just saying when you pay me in full. She hasn't paid for the vehicle.
No.
I'm paying $360 a month, and I can tell you what I'm paying $360 a month. She's paying what she assumes is full for her. So maybe it is in full for what she assumes she's doing. We never had an actual conversation. This is just
I want you to read both pages of that text. You say to her, you owe me $1,450, you owe $100, you owe me $1,450, and then you can have the title. 2 days later, she sent you $1,450. That was November 15th.
This page in the back does not say that.
Yes, it does.
It says $1,750.
Read on!
I just did.
No, just read on. Read where it says you owed me $1,750. You paid $200. You go through the numbers. Now you owe me $1,450.
Right. Well, she was behind in payments on, not in total in paying the car off full. The car, I paid $1,500 down. So I'm going to give her a free car. I'm going to let her pay the year and a half that I paid on it, and she's going to get a free car. She didn't pay me numerous times.
Just a second.
I'm paying $360 a month, and she's paying me $350. There's never a payment in full. That's what she owed me from behind, not paying me in full.
Can I have that, please? I want to see any payment that you made on the car after November of 2000. Listen to what I'm doing. You don't show me what I didn't ask for. You let me finish my statement. I want you to show me any payments that you made on the car after December of 2018. I just want you to show me any payment that you made on the car on or after December of 2018 after she sent you the $1,450. Just show me. Do you have any proof of payments that you made on the car? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Your counterclaim's dismissed. We're done.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I am happy with the results, but I do wish I got my car back.
It's my car. My title, my car. It's very simple facts.
I guess it was just a altercation.
A physical altercation, Judge. Did you even hear anything about it?
Actually, she assaulted me first. I just defended myself.
Literally, altercation, there's everything, it's all here. And yeah, that's great.
Just an argument? I don't know.
Because she's a drunk idiot. Drunk idiot.
I have no idea. I guess she was never really a friend.
I don't know, but I'm glad that she's not my friend anymore. Very glad.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of King versus Willoughby. Step forward.
Nicole King is suing 25-year-old Rebecca Willoughby for the return of money she paid for a Toyota Solara.
Miss Willoughby, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Who do you live with?
Myself and my daughter.
How old is your daughter?
2 years old, Your Honor.
When was she 2?
May 4th.
Did you ever live with her father?
Yes.
In what month and year?
2015.
Until when?
2017.
What month in 2017?
December.
What happened?
We separated.
Did you move or did he?
He did.
Where were you living in December of 2017? The address?
Tehachapi, California.
Address. How long did you live there?
About a year.
Where are you currently living?
The same place.
Where were you working in 2017?
I worked at Arco gas station, and at the end of 2017, I was working at Albertsons.
Where are you working now?
Same place, Albertsons.
Since 2017?
I'm sorry, 2018.
I ask those questions because they become relevant to your case.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You received all of these money orders?
Yes.
And did you total all the money orders, Miss Willoughby?
No, I did not.
Why not? I mean, why wouldn't you total all the money orders? I would make you a pretty stupid person. And you explain to me why you did not give her what she bargained for.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Nicole King says Rebecca Willoughby owes for the return of money she paid for a car but never received.
According to your case, Miss King, you and the defendant made an arrangement to purchase her car. You made an arrangement to purchase her car over a period of time. You gave her a deposit, and according to you, the arrangement was that you would pay the balance. I think the agreed-upon price was something like $3,500, and you would pay the car, and then you would get the car.
Correct.
And according to you, you made most of those payments, all except for one.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the arrangement was that you were supposed to everything and then
Yes, Your
give her the final payment, whatever that was. What was the final payment?
Just short of $50.
Can I see proof of the payments?
Absolutely.
And you received all of these money orders?
Yes.
And did you total all the money orders, Miss Willoughby?
No, I did not.
Why not? I mean, why wouldn't you total all the money orders? I would make you a pretty stupid person.
I would have totaled them at the time, but to my knowledge right now, I don't remember.
Well, if you don't remember, then I'm going to rely on her memory and the receipts. How much in total did you pay her?
I paid her $3,451.
That was in 2017.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then you said you couldn't find her.
I couldn't.
Well, she's been living at the same address.
She has. However, I had hired a process server to find her, nobody could find her.
For all intents and purposes, Miss Willoughby, the car was paid for. For all intents and pay attention to what I'm saying. For all intents and purposes, the car was paid for. I want to know, were you having a difficult financial time? Because she never got the car. You kept her almost $3,500, which was the purchase price of the car. And I want you to explain to me, so that me the truth, we won't have a problem. If you say, boyfriend left, I had no money, whatever it was, you want to explain to me why this person, who was a stranger to you, paid you the money, kept her end of the bargain with the exception of $50, and you explain to me why you did not give her what she bargained for. Go!
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Don't tell me what I'm not going to believe. You see, she doesn't look like a nut and say, well, I paid $3,450. I'm not going to give her the other $50 and she's not going to give me the car. You want to tell me what happened with her money and the boyfriend and your need for cash.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Nicole King says Rebecca Willoughby owes for the return of money she paid for a car but never received.
You explain to me why you did not give her what she bargained for. Go!
The last payment made was August 2017 for $300. She was supposed to pay the last payment and never did. She refused to pay me. Yes, I was going to...
Just a second. Let's go.
Ready for me? Okay.
I'm waiting for you.
No problem.
So far, we don't have an answer.
The last payment was made August.
I heard you.
She never paid me.
I heard you.
There was still an amount due.
I heard you.
50. Go. I wasn't going to give her the car if she didn't pay me the remainder.
Well, then what did you say to her?
I told her, I asked her.
Show me. Where
the
you
last
said,
payment?
Show me. No. Show me where you said to her, if you're not going to give me the last payment, because, you know, there are certain things that are logical. Do you understand?
Yes.
Logical is when you've paid practically every penny for a car that you agree to, you don't not get the car because of a $50 bill.
Of course.
You don't not get the car because of that, unless something's happened to the car in the interim. Unless all the time she was giving you this money for the car, something happened to it, you spent it, the boyfriend took it, something happened to it. I want you to tell me, don't tell me what I'm not going to believe. You see, she doesn't look like a nut and say, well, I paid $3,450. I'm not going to give her the other $50 and she's not going to give me the car. That doesn't make sense. And if something doesn't make sense, Miss Willoughby, it's not true. You want to tell me what happened with her money and the boyfriend and your need for cash.
Exactly how much do those money orders add up to?
$3,450.
Do they?
Yes.
Because the last payment on the car was $300.
$3,450. And you didn't keep track. Let's go. You took the money as she gave it to you, and you and the boyfriend spent it. That's what happened. Over whatever period of time, you had no car if you gave her the car. You want to continue? Tell me a story that I believe.
The car got repossessed January 2018.
All right. There you go.
But it was one payment left on it for $300.
When you sold her the car and it had clearly a lien on it, or you took out a title loan on it.
And she knew it had a lien on it.
Don't tell me what was in her head, okay?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
You sold her what kind of car?
A 2004 Toyota Solara.
And how much was the lien that was on it?
I don't recall at the time.
Just a second. Where did you think you were coming today? To the circus?
Definitely not.
Where did you think? You're not at a circus. So if you were hard up for cash and you had a bum for a boyfriend, that's not her fault.
No, it's not.
No. And that's the bottom line. You were hard up for cash and you had a bum for a boyfriend.
But that's also not my fault that she didn't pay the rest of the money.
I find that she paid, she fulfilled her end of the contract, and you
I don't care if it's $50.
And you prevented her from getting her property.
No, she didn't pay the rest of the money. I'm not going to give her a car that she didn't pay for.
Okay. When the left owed on it, and who was the lender?
One payment and me.
Well, you weren't the lender. Who was the lender on the loan? You were the obligor. Who was the lender? What bank? What financial institution?
Easy Auto Shop.
And when had you purchased the car?
2016.
What month in 2016?
I don't recall, Your Honor.
You don't recall a lot. Okay. You were hard up for cash and you had a bum for a boyfriend. I don't know whether you're a bum too, but so far you owe her $3,441. We're done. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I told her the car wasn't paid off completely, so the amount that she gave me goes directly to the car.
I was not aware that she had a lien on the vehicle.
And as soon as it's paid off, she gets the car.
She was using the car for her